Yeah, we know what Smirnoff Ice.
Yeah,
is.
we know what Smirnoff Ice is. That's the problem. The problem is
they didn't
you
just start
drinking
making those.
It's like,
The problem is you drinking them.
Why not? Why do you think
They still can mess you up.
And also,
No, I know they can mess me up after like 6. I mean, Jesus.
You get sick.
Yeah.
You drink that.
After like 6, you know.
Yeah,
No,
see,
you
I
get
just
sick.
logged back into fucking my.Nintendo, fucking whack ass Nintendo, right? And all my silver points are gone, and I had to go through the tutorial again, as if it's like the first time I've logged into my fucking Nintendo. All I got now is 290 shitty silver points, never to spend on hate.
Yeah, that my Nintendo. That was
Really?
Bitches charged me for $4 for a Nintendo Switch Online.
Oh, really?
I'm gonna call them and scream the fuck out of them.
Wait, really?
Wait, why
Yeah.
though?
Because I did the free trial, and I guess you have to take it
Oh,
off,
you didn't auto. You didn't.
Yeah,
do
you have to
auto-renewal.
click like auto renew off, which is weird.
which is fucking stupid if
because you're already on the family.
already on, right? So you're gonna charge me. You know I'm on.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're already part of a different plan. That's retarded. That's
I want to
Nintendo,
enjoy that
man.
before
This
we
is
start.
Nintendo. Though. This is the shit.
Fucking this bullshit, all of it. The cabinet minister, the CIA, they set us up.
So I'm doing the. I went into the training for the first time with the little grid pattern,
Yeah.
and I picked Daisy, and it automatically chose Peach. I don't know if that was on purpose. Daisy's eyes are like twice the size of Peach. I'm just noticing now. Looks kind of out of place.
Really?
Thoughts, Terrell?
I've never noticed that before.
Yeah, they're like.
Because who the fuck looks at Daisy's eye?
I don't like. I'll be honest. I can't
Real
stand
thoughts. Come on,
Daisy's
bro.
face.
I
Daisy's
wish her
face is
eyes.
too
I do
massive.
wish that. I wish they were a little more normal size. I guess.
I agree. I agree with that.
I don't give a fuck.
I'm.
I would
I
take
simply just don't care.
Yeah, it's such like a random thing to mention.
I just figured it'd be a way to start the podcast by asking that question. So
Oh, here we go. Oh, are we live? Oh, look,
He
we're
didn't
live.
know.
Oh, look,
He
we're
didn't
live.
know.
I was trying to get Terrell. I was trying to bait him.
I know. I know what you were trying to do. I was trying to help.
I was like, it's one of those things where it's more like because I had two directions I was gonna go. I was either gonna be like, okay, and I was gonna like, shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. That's like there's only two ways I was gonna go with that.
He tried to set you up and shit. You know
Let
what
me
that's
ask
like?
you this,
Just stop doing get me shot. I already know.
Let me ask you a serious question. Is there, like, for characters, do you have, like, every time you pick the same color scheme? Like, no matter what, you can't not pick a color
Yep.
scheme?
What do you
And
mean?
for
Like
me-
a certain? It depends on the character. Certain characters.
I'm saying for each character, do you have, not for every character, but, I mean, for characters, do you have ones where you're, like, every time you're changing the color scheme?
I do, and it's not even. You know, for me,
So let's go around. Who does what?
Robert, you're always green King K. Rool, and you're always standard Rob. I don't know what you're talking
the
about.
reason what I'm saying is the reason I'm saying
Because
that
he's full of
because
shit. That's what
I
he's saying.
cannot. For me, I have like OCD. I cannot change. So mine is always default for any character. I feel weird.
I'm the
if I-
exact
if I
same
change
way.
it.
I'm the
If I
exact
change
same
it.
way.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just unless it's like obviously like Corrin, like you're the if I'm the female Corrin, then I'm the female Corrin, but still the regular gray color. You know what I mean? Or silver
That's
color.
weird because the only character I can say for sure is default is Wii Fit Trainer. That's it for me. Everyone else I have that I use, I have a color scheme that I like.
Because I'm used to the default colors, and like when I change that,
Yeah.
it like just like Robert, it bothers me. It doesn't
Yeah, it
feel
bothers
right.
me exactly.
It
Because
depends
like
on the character for me though, because like with Mario, for example, I like using the builder one, which is still an official one, but I prefer it over the normal thing. But with like DK, there's no way I'm playing with a pink fucking monkey.
Yeah,
Okay.
I will.
Now you're concerned about your image. Oh,
It's like normally if I choose Simon Belmont, because he looks like Arnie. I mean, Retro were talking about this the other day. Normally I would
Conan.
choose like the one with like he looks like Conan. I'll normally choose the one with gray hair because I'm like I'm in King Conan mode now, so I'll just like have it with gray hair and stuff like that. But most other characters, I'm quite stable. I will change up Link quite a bit to be fair. To his Breath of the Wild green tunic, and also to Fierce Deity Link and Shadow Link and stuff. I seem to mix him up more than anyone else. But most other characters, I probably stay the same, I reckon.
Yeah, I can't. Like even first time I switched Isabel, I switched hers. Incineroar, I went to the purple. King K. Rool has like a purplish color. Peach, I'm always the red and white. I don't think I've ever been the pink, standard pink. Zelda, now I pick the brown haired with the purple, and I used to be the green, like the green dress. I don't know. I've never picked standard colors. I just thought of that as I was messing around in the training here. And Lucina always picked a red haired version.
I guess you know what the only one that I would switch. The only one I would switch is Shulk. Is where I'd have the underwear. You know?
Yeah, that's true. You always did that. To play.
Charm like a weird variant of DD, and I don't know how to describe it.
You could change DK to white that way in honor of that wonderful film Rampage and George.
Okay.
I would more think at this point of like the rabbit stuff, the Kingdom Battle.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
But in general, when I change a color, like I don't know, it has to be like more official in a certain way. Like with Peach, for example, I like taking the dress that's like the fire flower dress that's like white with the red lines and shit. Like I love that one. I'm still like, I don't know, disappointed that they never gave her the ponytail for that outfit. And like with Corrin, for example, I picked the white one, but the female white one. In general, I usually go for like official kind of colors and stuff. With Bowser, for example, I always pick the one with the purple hair, like the Koopa version, because I like that one better.
So purple's okay, but pink is offensive. Okay, I see how it is.
Pink on the gorilla is.
Yeah, exactly.
Ridley, I gotta be meta Ridley. I cannot stand the standard or any of the color variations. Meta Ridley from day one.
Ridley's ugly, man. That's why I never wanted him in Smash, because he's just ugly.
I do like the standard Inkling though, the orange hair. Bayonetta, I like the Bayonetta 1 version. Crazy. Like,
well, I disagree. I prefer Bayonetta 2. I also sometimes change the colors for Ike to his blue variant or his red. Well, not red. Well, redder variant.
His are pretty minor. Some of his color changes are pretty minor.
Yeah, or sometimes I've been using his Path of Radiance instead of his Radiant Dawn outfit.
Nerds.
And something like this, these like really minor fucking things. And then obviously, if I'm playing Inkling, I'm usually picking a black one because of obvious reasons.
Racist.
Damn, how dare you?
Racist nerds.
Purple haired Inkling.
I don't think that's the same thing.
Yeah, you think they gave 2 black and 6 white Inklings. I think they could have mixed that up a little more. Split, I would think.
I don't know. I can't pick anything but the default Inkling. I can't.
I like. There's some characters like.
Saying black Inklings matter. Is that
but there's so many possibilities too, because like Peach or like any of the characters. It doesn't even have to be the females, but theirs is the most different because they're in dresses. But in like Mario Kart, they have on the motorcycles, they have their motorcycle like leathers or something, like just some more variations. I think obviously be more work for them, but
but they do it for certain characters, so not why not go like all the way.
Yeah. Can we just say, like you talking about black? They never actually make a black version. It's just the white version with black skin. Like the features don't change. It's like Ken and Barbie dolls and shit. It's like, oh, that's okay. You just basically change the skin tone, but it's the same features and everything.
That's always been a problem.
And they didn't give her
many RPGs, isn't it? Always been a problem with many RPGs.
No junk in the trunk.
No junk in the trunk. None of that.
I was like that when I was playing Mass Effect, and for some reason it's very rare that I try to make a character look like myself, but I try to make like the character look like myself in Mass Effect, and you could just never quite get it right because like you said, the options aren't quite there, because they've always have a preset around a certain look, don't they, and certain jawline and stuff like that. So
you want to talk about? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, SJW.
I was just gonna say you want to talk about an embarrassing limited. Try if you want to make something look like yourself. The new Xbox avatar system. Like, I really try usually for that type of thing. Like, how did the Wii get it so right and the Xbox has gotten it so wrong on 2 attempts? The new one, you want to talk about the most generic, like, it's the face shapes. There's only like 8 of them, and there's just like nothing even close to it. I look so I was embarrassed that I was trying to make it look like me. That's how far away it was from looking like me, and I'm just like, this is absolute trash. Like, then I realized you could just upload a background pic from logging into the Xbox on my PC. So I got a Breath of the Wild cover art as my gamertag profile on Xbox, which is kind of cool.
You have to wonder what we could do now if Mii's were still, front and center with Nintendo and on the Switch. I always hate that they've kind of taken a back seat now because they created that stuff, man. I love the Mii's.
They definitely didn't add a lot of options on the Switch version of Mii's. I thought it'd be a good opportunity for them to give some more variety, and they didn't.
They're keeping it simple,
Yeah, I mean, I've only created 2, and well, I don't know if I imported one or created the second one for my buddy. Every time he comes over, I recreate a guest account because I don't like it on my Switch. But that's only happened a few times.
On Wii, I have like 100. And a lot of them are like uploaded, like celebrity ones, like Bill Clinton. I got like Batman and Whoopi Goldberg, all kinds of shit.
I used to love that on the 3DS when you get like a Nintendo character, coming along to your 3DS.
Nintendo people
I used to love that.
And Reggie. And everybody.
Oh, I mean, you could really make some. Like, I made the Crow, Eric Draven from the Crow. Somebody made. God, I'm trying to think I think a Captain Jack Sparrow that somehow looked.
Oh yeah, I have.
You knew immediately who it was. You didn't have
amazing.
No one. It's like, how the fuck did someone come up with that?
Keep in mind, there are no mohawk hair dudes. On you realize that, right?
Yeah, so use like eyebrows or something.
I used eyebrows and I turned them up to make them look like a mohawk.
So clever.
I think the problem with the Xbox one is probably they tried to make it a little more like it looks more like a CGI animated like art style instead of the more simplistic, and I think that's. But still, I mean, if you're gonna do it, at least, I mean. Don't do it half-ass. If you're gonna do it half-ass, don't even do it. Because I mean, I actually switched back to the original Xbox 360 avatar, and it still wasn't great, but it looked better. But it was like, why is this even an option? Like, they just get rid of these things. I mean, Nintendo kind of, it's still in the Switch there. You can, it's hidden in the menus. You can create a Mii, but no reason for Xbox, I think, to
trying to wipe the Wii and Wii U era away and hide it in the menus.
That's why I was really surprised they had them at all, and then that they included them in Smash. And I wouldn't have minded. Like,
they had to in Smash.
The biggest thing I would think would have been for me, the right call would have been have Mii Sword Fighter, Mii Brawler, Mii Gunner, whatever, as a default character that you could just make look how you wanted, make it look like you, and have the moveset standard, and then just make it official characters, and then then you wouldn't have people like the biggest problem about the Mii fighters is the first time you play somebody's Mii, you have no idea what moves they've chosen, and it makes it really hard to know how to approach the battle. So if it just would have make a default for each one, and that you could just change how they look. I think more people would be fine with them.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I just don't like the idea of Mii's because I just feel I always say that just people like to play as them and they're like, oh shit, it's me, and it just to me it's kind of annoying.
You just don't like them because their moves are so overpowered a lot of time. Like a lot of their movesets can just
but also just like I don't know.
It's weird because they were
like how you gonna have the entire roster of gaming legends and you're gonna pick your fucking self.
I find that kind of strange coming from the Rabbids boy.
I don't know. I don't like playing as myself.
Well, even though they do represent yourself, they're still a me, as a character. I think, more than it being yourself. Me is.
That's why I think if anything, it should have been a default me, and it me.
I love the me's, man. I love the fact that you can choose.
I know you do it. I don't like that you do it.
I love when you can make like all these random characters that are like official. So basically, like on the Wii U, on the previous game, I think it was Wii U, when you had like Proto Man's outfit, you basically had Proto Man in the game completely. Like when you have the helmet and the outfit, like there's no reason that doesn't look like Proto Man, for example. But I like you guys know, like when I play with me, I play like as Retro Death as myself and shit. And I love that idea, just kicking your ass.
I don't mind. I just don't like the customization. Like, just make those standard. You can now, they have the customization stuff for all the characters in the Wii U version, but you could just turn that off and then you just had standard.
I'm pretty sure online you have to use the default moveset.
No.
I've not even tried.
I've played online with like 2 different varieties of my brawler who both have a different moveset.
Oh, really? Okay.
In arenas,
I think it doesn't matter because I feel like the Mii's on the previous game, they were kinda OP. I feel in a certain way, but man, my up B, which is one of my favorites, the helicopter kick, that thing has been nerfed to fuck. Like it's insane how bad that move is compared to the previous game.
Yeah, I'm playing against
all the moves have been really nerfed.
Playing against Retro's me 1-on-1, and I'm like off the stage, and I'm like, all right, I got space to land, and all of a sudden he comes flying with this uppercut thing from way over, and he hits me and KOs me. I'm like, what? Like, that just makes no sense. Like,
so in case people don't know, Retro was owning these dudes the other night. Smash Brothers. I wasn't there.
He's he definitely got more time in the game than me, and it shows because he's just toying with me in a few matches. But I mean, once we get 4-player, then it's all kind of it's all up for grabs then.
Because I'm like, I'm the monkey, and everybody is like, beat the fucking monkey, and I'm like, everybody has like 2 stocks left and shit.
we targeted Rob too with the Terrell, and I. We went on the Wii Fit stage.
Hey man, I didn't co-sign on shit. Don't you put my name out there.
I kept saying that people. They kept saying, "Oh, come on, they're not targeting you," and you would see out of nowhere they
just running at it.
We targeted you at some points, but this one I was specifically talking about. Terrell just got you on the edge of the stage and just did a strong attack and got you, I think, twice in under 20 seconds. I was watching the replay, and then I got you on the third one, and it's like, King K. Rool on those stages where you can fall, he's almost unbeatable, but on stages where he's, you'd think certain characters that having gaps to fall in is a death wish, but for King K. Rool, for whatever reason, it's having a flat stage where you just go off the screen and he just did some quick work. But
and also, you know what? That also, like, for that kind of stage, the Wii Fit stage, I'm great with Ness on that shit. That's a stage where because there's nowhere you can fall off. I'm pretty good.
Yeah, because Ness has that ridiculous recovery. So
yeah.
Well, anyway, Retro hasn't been
online.
Retro
Smash Online, or real quick, Smash Online or Arms Online. Who wins?
As far as the game or the lobby?
You mean here, like what in what capacity?
The lobby itself?
How it's set up, like the online, how it
plays. I'm gonna go with Arms.
Arms has the better lobby. I like that it's just you could have 8 people in there and then you break off and do your fights. But if you're
fights, that's the
you can spectate if you do the specific mode where it's 4 people only and it's 1-on-1s.
Yeah.
You have that option, or you have the more party option with friends where you can see their damage in real time, their little icon that like it's getting when they're getting hit, you see it, and then it just randomly groups you together. But I do like Smash's because of it's a better 4-player game. I hate Arms with 4.
Yeah. Arms 4 players.
But it's that frustrating where if your token, let's say you put your token in the next up or the spectating, but somebody hits start like right after, Sometimes you get to spectate, other times you don't. Like there's this, you got to actually give it an extra few seconds.
I think that's weird that everybody can randomly hit start no matter where everybody is with setting.
Yeah, so then
that's
you
a
got
bit weird.
If Clasher's listening to this on the replay, I left him a comment. He would jump in, and somebody's selecting characters. He'd jump in the ring, hit start, and it's like, dude, chill out, you know, because somebody can hit start, and then the match would start while you're selecting a character.
I feel only the person who created the room should be able to do that.
Right, that's how it should work.
And then I jumped in Terrell's, same thing. I'm selecting a character, all of a sudden I get out of the character selection screen, and they're fighting. Like they didn't wait for me to get ready so I could spectate, and I'm just like, God damn it!
I think the main thing that would fix is if I could change characters while still being in the line and shit.
Yeah, because as soon, like, if you're in the ring, as soon as you decide to change characters, it kicks you out of the ring.
Yeah,
and then it puts the next person in automatic. And if you're not all on voice chat, then they don't know, like, you know, hey, we got a method to who's out and who's in. I like to do the winner sits out. Rob doesn't like that, but that's
I like that system.
I don't agree with you personally. I think you should be able to do losers.
Again, my point is that
it's like, why do I get punished for winning a match?
It's like, congrats, you won. Now get the fuck out of here. And then it's like, wait, what?
Just sit in your glory, man.
The idea is
what
that
do you mean by sit in your glory? You want to continue playing? I don't understand it. What am I sitting in? My chair? I just like, I just feel like if you lose, then yeah, you drop out and you switch off, and you come back and you try again next time because you lost. You try again. Not, hey, you won, good job, get the fuck out of here.
I feel like if you switch the winner, it's more fair overall, and everybody gets to play like a decent amount of time. If you have somebody who's like super overpowered, like Clasher, for example, who was such like a for glory kind of guy, you know, like he won like almost every single time and shit. And if you have somebody who's always there, that means every single match he's in, then every single match, everybody fucking dies. So if you have the system, you kick him out, and then he has to wait, and then you get different styles of matches that way as well. And
no, you just try to beat him.
I wouldn't do that. It's a weird rotation that the next match he gets back in, he's gonna win again, and it's like, oh, well, what's the difference?
Well,
you got a match reprieve. That was the trade-off.
You get somebody that somebody else will win the next time.
Or you just get good, yo.
Good, son.
That is true. You get good when
guaranteed.
you're constantly fighting players that below you.
Those are just options the game gives you. The Wii U didn't have anything like that, because you can only have 4 people in.
Yeah, if nothing else, the online is an improvement.
It's a good step, but it's kind of a 3/4. It's a 3/4 step because we were just talking off air. There's no stage morphing in the arena. There's when you're choosing
mode,
like the what?
That roster mode.
Yeah, the roster mode where you
smash down.
Yeah, I was looking forward to that shit so much.
I thought I was gonna bet money that was gonna be an online mode. T or somebody was like, "Dude, don't get your hopes up. That might not be online." I'm like, "What? Of course that'll be."
Yeah,
and it wasn't.
And
it fucking was.
When it announced that, I thought that was because maybe it was during the online part. I don't know. I thought that was meant for the online. I already saw all of us like doing that shit. I was like, oh man, this is gonna be fucking amazing. It's gonna be so good. Like, all tactical shit, deciding all that stuff.
There's absolutely
right.
There's just no.
We're talking about Nintendo here,
but there's no like logic or justification for a mode that's already in the game. Just put it as an option in the arena. Like what? I don't understand what changes. With that being offline,
there's no reason for it not to be in there. I don't know why they excluded it. It makes no sense.
And I really hope they take some feedback, and I don't know that they will because Wii U didn't really see anything as far as that kind of stuff. But they've been listening to fans with this Ultimate, so maybe they'll tweak how the arena and stuff work. Because just the stage morph itself would be a great addition. So you set the timer at 2.5 minutes or whatever, you get a second stage. So it's kind of like you're going, seeing 2 stages every battle.
Maybe they'll add it and then like decide to only have it at certain hours and certain days.
That is possible. But as far as
salmon run,
as far as the connection stuff, we've only had a few little laggy moments. It's been really good, so I gotta give them props there.
And the lag in this, what I like is like we don't have like actual slowdown shit. Like the game just pauses for a second and then catches up again. You're not like playing in slow motion for like 5 hours.
I did that one time. There was a stretch. I think that's when. I don't know. That was the Wii U version where T was playing and you had your bad Wi-Fi, and it was just like slow. I don't think the Switch version I've really encountered too much. So
yeah, exactly.
Now that I got my extender, I haven't had any problems. So
apparently, Davean23 saying that Pokemon Let's Go is available for $36. Any more info, Dave? Devand or whatever.
A
little more info would be nice because where is it
I mean,
available? Physical, digital? Is it used? Is it new?
Even at 20, you'd have to think about it.
20?
Even at 20, you'd have to think about it.
20 to think of Jesus.
That don't even make any sense.
At 20, I'd probably buy it.
Yeah, you don't even want it. You're still thinking at 20.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, you don't fucking want it. I don't believe that shit. That just
but like, it's not like I want it exactly, but like, come on, dude, like we're collectors and shit.
Oh.
It's something you don't really like. I'd play it. Like,
it's on Game Flip. Come on, I don't even know what that is.
Game what?
Game Flip.
The hell is that?
It's digital. I don't trust that. Maybe you.
I doubt that game will ever be $20 though. It's a.
How would they have
Nintendo
digital
game.
codes for a game
It's called robbing motherfuckers.
at a cheaper price? Because you don't get codes for games, do you?
Yeah.
Unless Nintendo gives you a.
You can get codes for games.
Can you?
Because the bet I won with OJ, he gave me a code for the eShop. There was a specific code that instantly gave me Smash. There wasn't money or anything. There was just Smash in that code.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us about that bet?
Well, basically, like last year, we got all the traders for like Monster Hunter World. That was before that game launched, and we started getting traders for XX, like Generations or some shit for the Switch. It was like a 3DS port, and I was like, oh man, this is all the shit they're doing, and I was like, there's no way we're gonna get like new Monster Hunter until like next year. And OJ was all like, nah, man, they're gonna make that. Like just because we're getting World down XX doesn't mean we're not gonna get that. And I'm like, yeah. If we have one game, maybe. But there's 2 games they're focusing on. We're getting no way will we even get a reveal next year. And he was like, okay, if we get a reveal until like the last game show we had, Tokyo Game Show, whichever one it was, a reveal trailer of either a mainline game, either Monster Hunter 5, or, and I said I even accept a port of Monster Hunter World for the Switch. If we get that, I would buy him that game. But there's no way we're going to get that. And if we didn't get that, he would buy me the Christmas game for the Nintendo Christmas game on the Switch, which was Smash, and obviously he lost that and shit. So I don't get it.
Yeah, I never understood where that confidence was coming from. He was very confident about that. I'm like, why would they do that?
He's been talking to Super Metal Dave.
No.
Now, I wouldn't be shocked if 2019 you get an exclusive Monster Hunter game announced. But
I mean, it's obviously that we will get it's obviously we will get a mainline Monster Hunter game. But come on, they had N World, which they're still supporting, and X wasn't even like Generations. That fucking trash wasn't even out yet. You think if they announced the shitty 3DS port, which some people like better, I don't know. It's not a console Monster Hunter game for me, you know. You think if they announce that they're all of a sudden gonna say, oh yeah, by the way, we're gonna make this awesome fucking console game for the Switch mainline shit. You think anybody's gonna buy Generations then?
Mm-hmm.
What about that 3DS one that came out late? The RPG one, the more chibi Monster Hunter game. What was it called?
Oh, Monster Hunter Stories.
Yeah,
Stories. Like, what if it was a port of Stories? Would that have counted for you?
We were specifically talking, and at one point he he wanted to like cut off the bet and give me like half the money or some shit because I couldn't find the bet anymore. It was in a comment section, and I spent for a long time trying to find it because the bet was a true mainline Monster Hunter game, and like I said, I even accepted a port of World, which I knew that wasn't going to come, and so that was actually the bet. So no, that would not.
So the reality is that we can't prove if Retro was lying or not. AKA, he just cheated.
We can. It is out there somewhere. But it was either on Twitter or on one of his videos. I feel like if you make a bet with someone, everybody remember. But in the end, he was like, "Yeah, we made the bet." So he like manned up and he gave me the code. So he came through in the end.
It must have been true. I mean, he wouldn't have honored it. I don't think.
Yeah, no, he honored it.
Yeah, he just didn't
wasn't good about it.
Bite him in the ass. That's what it was. Someone's gonna come out and make an exposed video on him.
Yeah,
Mr. Francis doesn't repay his bet. He's gonna,
I'm not like Trey or something. I don't have like 10 folders on my computer with everybody's fucking personal history and shit.
Seriously, this dude's a trick.
It's called dedication, sir.
So, Retro you came on once in the last few months.
Good.
And he's had he got his laptop back and good to go. So you're gonna be on for a while.
Yeah, I got a new laptop, so
all the pixels are alive.
Changes for me job wise. I'm gonna be on for good for now.
All right, so we've already been talking a lot about Smash. If you want to just give your quick thoughts on it. Plus, I'm actually really curious about another game you were probably your most anticipated game of all time.
Oh, yeah.
You've been playing it, but I haven't heard one thing about it. So
the best series ever made.
Smash first, and then Dark Souls Siders 3, whatever.
Yeah, no problem. The main reason, like, a lot of people haven't heard about anything is because I didn't have my laptop anymore. I couldn't even make videos of my own and shit, so that was kind of annoying. Okay, with Smash, it's like 50-50 for me. Like, if I would have to choose, I could not consider this the best Smash. Mainly because it has the best roster. It has like a solid online. It is so much fun. I love all the characters. It looks amazing. It looks really fucking good. But it's like we said earlier, it's like that half-assed. Like, I've talked about this a lot. There's no more like target practice or home run contest. All that shit is out. This World of Light thing, it's like, man, they hyped that shit up in the beginning. It's like hidden, it's gonna be awesome. And like me and like Robert, we're like both like, yeah, this is gonna be fucking new. Like we like the subspace emission and everything, you know, like that's amazing. That's so much fun. And I figured they were gonna do something like that or better. And now we're just basically fighting like, I don't know, that shit hurt, dude. You're fighting like King K. Rool. You have to pretend it's what, you motherfuckers. Like, give me fucking work, you know? Like, I don't want to have to pretend I'm fighting somebody else. And that's all it is. And, like, it's interesting and it's keeping me occupied. But, like, man, that's not a seller. The main thing I love about this Smash, which I think is better than any Smash did before, we talked about it a little bit earlier, is this self-tailored per character classic mode, which is so much fun. It is so good. Like when you, for example, when I was playing Ryu, I was like, okay, I'll get through this classic mode, and all of a sudden you see like these characters that could like substitute for other characters, like what they did in the spirit mode. You know, like they have like stages, like Final Destination stage, and like stamina mode with like low jump, and you're basically playing like Street Fighter in classic mode. And like when you play like with the Wii Fit trainer, you're fighting like fat guys and like people who eat a lot and that kind of stuff. And I love it how the whole classic mode for every character, like they change the rules, they change the characters, they change the setup, and I absolutely love that classic mode. But like you have the roster, you have the classic mode, and then I don't know, they even take out shit like the trophies and they pretend the spirit is like the greatest thing ever. But I mean, it's basically like a lame version of the sticker album of the previous game or the one before that. Like, so it's a really
you're talking about Brawl stickers.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's an incredible game. I had so much fun playing it, and the main thing you use it for, the battles, the rosters, you know, fighting that kind of shit. It's definitely the best Smash when it comes to that. But when it comes to overall content, like, I don't know, I couldn't put this as my favorite Smash. I feel just
I'm the opposite because I like that it did cut out all that nonsense. I couldn't tell you the last time on Wii U I did anything other than play like local or online Smash. Like all that extra stuff completely, to me, adds nothing to the game. I know for a lot of people it does. And
well, it's more legacy stuff.
You're right about the spirits though. That's one of the most waste, especially after how much time it got in the direct. To me, those absolutely don't add anything to the game, and I sorely miss the trophies. That to me was an item or items worth collecting. These I don't know, the spirits just I feel nothing about. Oh, I gotta get this spirit. I gotta get this spirit. I don't feel that at all, and I wanted all the trophies in Melee. I didn't play that as much, but with Wii U and 3DS, I wanted the trophies. So for me personally. Exactly. I miss the trophies. I think spirits adds nothing. really, to me. And I don't care that Target Smash and Home Run contests are gone because I didn't like those. I didn't play those anyway, and I love Classic Mode solid. So just coming from two different places.
I mean, even if the game is missing a lot of the things that I would like it to have, the second you start playing Smash for what it is, Smash, like I honestly forget all the other stuff, and like it's just so much fun, especially because the online is so solid. It is so stable. Like, I mean, we were playing with like 5 people. Like, I'm in France. You have collective who's like in England. You guys are like all over fucking America and shit. Yeah. And like, I think we had like maybe 1 or 2 matches that stopped for like 1 second once or some shit like
what the fuck do you mean? I'm not in England. You need to cut that shit out.
You're in fucking UK.
You need to cut that shit out right now. I'm from Wales, man. Wales.
All in all, it's a great game. I will put it like that.
But the problem, there's the one problem. You guys are right. I agree pretty much with everything you said. But they call the damn thing Ultimate.
Mm-hmm.
So they're thinking they're going to bring all that stuff that, a lot of people maybe liked it, and some people didn't care for stuff like Smash Run and Subspace Emissary and Break the Targets and all that stuff. I was expecting that when I saw Smash Ultimate. Everything is here. So at the end of the day, does it matter? No, but it does affect the overall package of how I feel about it compared to other Smashes, because it had an expectation of Ultimate,
It's like while you're playing it, you don't notice it, but when you stop playing and you start to think about it, it's like, damn, man, I wish all the other shit was in there.
I don't know. For me, it's like, listen, this is hands down the most enjoyable Smash Brothers game, and what they took out, they put towards a way better classic mode and shit like that more is fleshed out and stuff. Like the whole home run content. I know, like it's like, damn, that sucks. And I think like it's a small enough mode that they probably could have just put it in. I'm actually surprised it took it out because not like it takes like a whole lot. I wouldn't think it would take a whole lot of development time for a home run contest. I wouldn't think so. Maybe it does.
But spirits over trophies. No.
Yeah, no, I do like the trophies way more. That I will say. It was cool kind of seeing these 3D models, of like it was cool seeing the Rayman trophy. You're like, oh shit, that's cool. And it would be cool to see like a Shantae one, how they do that or stuff like that.
Listen, I'm gonna be real with y'all, because I agree, but there are a few things that I don't understand. The way I kind of compare Ultimate is I look at the previous Smash games and base it off of that. I do miss home run contests. I don't care as much about Break the Target specifically because Break the Targets hasn't been good since Melee. Because Brawls wasn't good.
That's true.
Wii U's wasn't good. Because Brawls was the same goddamn stage for every character.
Yeah, that sucked.
So it literally Melee is the only one that had a good Break the Targets thing. As far as the spirits are concerned, I think that's like the best single player compared to the other games because fuck Smash Tour. Technically, it's kind of thing. Well, here's the thing, because spirits also kind of take the replacement of the event matches, where you had to do event-like matches to get the spirits. And I understand that people miss their 3D models of characters that literally just kind of sat there, and the only difference you could do is, I could go take some photos of them. But here's the thing: at least with me with the spirits, it's like taking the sticker situation from Brawl and expanding it into something that can be used throughout the whole game. Because you can use spirits in other modes. And they do, and unlike the sticker system in Brawl, they actually do change and augment the characters, depending on what stickers you use. What spirits you use. Now, I understand it's not the most fucking engaging thing, and World of Light, for all intents and purposes, isn't the most engaging thing in the world, but I think it's way better. I'd rather do a lot of custom fights with some variation in them than do fucking wander around some weird looking level fighting creatures I've never met or don't even recognize from any other game except for the here's the Goomba or here's the Koopa Trooper occasionally.
Man, that shit was fun, man.
I enjoyed Brawl story mode, but Spirits is objectively a better mode.
No way. It's
objectively a better mode. I think it lasts too fucking long. You can't say
objectively, dude.
Objectively, it's a better mode. What?
Dude, I like the Subspace Emissary is cooler because you had the whole like levels, like it was genuine levels that you would go.
They weren't good levels.
They didn't work, man.
Yeah,
they were long and the only reason why you like the Brawl Subspace Emissary is because the cutscenes. That's
the cutscenes were fucking awesome.
Cutscene and there's like a fury fights.
But I like running around.
That's
and
bullshit. I did like going around. Yeah, I did like running around and actually fighting the Koopa Troopers and stuff. I did. I actually remember.
You rarely did it though. You fought these weird cloud-looking enemies and shit.
Yep, and in front of the Primids, the Premids or whatever you call them, like that shit was fucking awesome. I loved it.
It was not that. Also, Smash's game mechanics are not built to be a platformer.
But I did it, and I had a ton of fucking fun.
Let me ask you guys this:
Sonic Forces, yo, like it controlled better than that.
Well, yeah, but see, I'm not disagreeing with you on that. I'm saying objectively, it is better to do custom fights and walk around a board area where all I got to do is choose a direction and go in that direction and just fight it there. And the fight.
You can't say objectively though. That's too.
They even took bosses from Brawl's Subspace Emissary and put them in this game. So it has elements of Brawl Subspace Emissary.
But they were too lazy to do a full-on Subspace Emissary. That's why.
Well, that because you wouldn't have got that shit in no damn. What was it, like 4 years?
I don't think we would have had that in 2018.
In the end of the day, though,
2018 game.
In the end of the day, though, I still don't mind. I still enjoy the I forgot World of Light and stuff like that. But like the main thing about Smash is just playing Smash, regular Smash and online and stuff. And for that, it's the best one, easily to me, and that makes it automatically one of the greatest games.
I'm as bold as to say this is the best Smash game objectively, in my opinion.
I feel like that
doesn't mean it's the greatest. That doesn't mean it has everything I wanted. It just means comparing it to the other 4 games, I think it's better than all 4 of them. Or 5.
I think mechanically is the most sound. I will give you that. But
like unrelated to that, like one of
my favorite... well then here's the argument. What game do you think is the best?
The one that I had the most overall enjoyment with, Melee.
For me, it's Brawl.
But it's Melee for me, for sure.
For me, I think
Brawl because
there might be some nostalgia. I can't deny that it could be some nostalgia.
No, to be fair, Melee, all the shit Melee introduced, people liked. Like people, there's nothing from Melee that people really hated.
Yeah,
so I can understand that argument.
Like for me, I like Brawl best for many reasons.
Well,
like the modes and all that kind of shit. But the main thing I like best in Brawl, which they fucked up in the Wii U, like Brawl had this perfect fucking level builder, the stage builder.
It wasn't perfect.
Yeah, I love that shit.
It wasn't perfect. It was better. I'll give you that it was better, but it was not perfect.
That shit was so good, man. I wasted
it was okay.
I can't say because I didn't use it. The Wii U one was terrible.
Because you couldn't play online for shit.
The only reason why the Wii U one is worse, the only reason why the Wii U one is worse than the Smash one is because the Smash one gave you more stuff to work with. The Brawl one gave you more stuff to work with. In terms of that's literally the only reason why.
I think honestly, for me, like
and it was on the Wii U.
I mean, it's very because to me, other than the fact that it doesn't give you as much to work with, it's better than Brawl's every other way.
Yeah, I don't understand how someone has more time put into Brawl with its basically unplayable online. Like, what did you do?
We played single player and local.
I played all the time. I would play just regular Brawl.
Yeah, single player and local. It's one. You got to realize the wait for that game was from what? It came out in 2008. When did Melee come out?
Came out in 2001. Melee came out.
Yeah, it was a 7-year wait.
Still, I mean, you think Melee would buy it for people that were a bit fan of the series already would have had so many hours in. But for me, like, Brawl, like, unless you had couple friends that could come over. I mean,
you're also talking about back in 2000.
Yeah, everyone was younger. I mean, some people were kids. I was an adult. So,
you were around more people.
But I didn't have as many people that I could easily, hey, come over, play Melee or Brawl. Like it just wasn't even an option.
Brawl just had a lot. Brawl had a lot that people.
Brawl was just the worst looking.
Brawl, in terms of content, it had a lot of shit. It's just that some of that shit was fluff.
And it was, I mean, it was not much of a visual leap over Melee.
I wouldn't say that.
Because they made it widescreen, which took a lot of it.
Go look at Melee and compare it to Brawl. There is a visual leap.
It's hard to find somebody that posts.
I also think that's art design.
Yeah, the art design is.
It's hard to find somebody posting Melee or Brawl without it being Dolphin emulator up-res.
No, that's true. It's true.
So, anyway,
objectively, I mean, not objectively. What's the word I'm looking for? I think it looks better than Brawl. And although when Wii U came out, or when we saw trailers of Wii U, God, Brawl doesn't hold it for shit.
No, I remember seeing Brawl for the first time, and I'm like, Nintendo needed to make a bigger jump visually.
That is literally the opposite of what I thought.
When you went from Melee to Brawl, like the main thing I remember is like when you had Melee, the cutscene, you know, you had like Mario, he became like real life and shit. He had all these textures on his outfit. Awesome. And you play Melee, it's like this flat, lame shit. And when you got Brawl, you played with all those textures and shit. Like the leap on the characters, just textures alone was fucking insane.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
I was like,
but the problem is they turned down the saturation button. Way desaturated.
I was like, literally, that was one of the first games I was like, they didn't give the Wii U enough, or the Wii enough juice. That was like the first game I saw that made me think that.
Boo! Boo!
Giggity, giggity.
I don't know, because you know, I played Brawl on a 47-inch HD TV progressive scan with the component video.
Yeah, you're already talking about your bullshit. I don't care about.
And I always thought. I
was in high school.
I meant Melee. And when I first saw Brawl for the first time, I just remember, like, man, why doesn't it look better? Like all these other Wii games look pretty good. This looks like barely an improvement. So
I don't think I noticed until like the very end of the PS3 generation.
Wii Sports looked better than Brawl, you know.
Well, that's because Wii Sports had lighting, had real lighting.
That's clean, yeah. It's clean.
Yeah, it's
anyway. Terrell's like that. I played Brawl at a 20-inch CRT. He don't know about nothing.
Oh yeah, I don't give a shit about none of that crap.
The Wii did not.
That was pure hype.
Let's just say the Wii didn't look great blown up on a big screen.
Well, hell, most people argue the same thing about the Switch.
Even with the component cables, that was pretty good.
I thought it looked okay, but you know, I was 50-50 at 360 and Wii at the same time, so it's hard for me sometimes to go from one to the other.
You actually had to play your 360 before it Red Ring?
Never. I've never had. I still have mine day one. Well, not day one, but I still have the one I bought. And I've never had an issue with it once.
You need to turn that into science.
Still runs perfect today. I got thousands of hours with Call of Duties and fighting games and racing games. I definitely got my money's worth. But anyway, the Retro Death. Why don't you talk about this? You know, the best game of 2018 that came out in December. Missed the deadline for the Game Awards. Probably will get forgotten next year.
Oh no, it did not miss the deadline. Those fucking assholes.
It didn't?
No. The Darksiders 3 released November 27th. November 27th.
Oh.
Like the game was like 2 fucking weeks after that shit, you know, not even a mention of anything. And it's like
the problem is it was too hard and nobody beat it. That's what the problem.
Yeah, you know what's stupid about that shit? Like, I don't remember. The Darksiders 1 was like a love letter to a Nintendo game. I don't remember which one it was. Darksiders 2 was like a love letter of Zelda. They took a lot of shit from like Twilight Princess and kind of stuff, and they put that in Darksiders 2, like specifically like dungeon design and all that stuff, because they were such fans of Nintendo, so they did that shit. So even if people complain that Darksiders 3 is like a clone of Dark Souls, which is the stupidest thing ever, which is not even true. I'll get into that. It's like, why would that be a bad thing if it was like that? Because that's how they built the previous games, because they were such huge fans of other games, you know? But the thing is, people say it's like, oh, it's Dark Souls because it's so hard. I maybe because they think it's hard, like, I don't know. Maybe just because you leave, like, your souls behind that you collect. I don't know. Because the thing that they did in Darksiders 3 is, like, they took Fury. And then in Darksiders 2, you had Death, who was like super agile. So they took Death's way of fighting, the super fast, agile fighting, and they incorporated that into like the battle mechanics of Darksiders 1. And anybody who played Darksiders 1 would recognize that it's just a slower, harder system. You spend more time fighting one enemy. The fighting is just harder, which in 2 was easier because of like Death's agility. And they combined that to make Darksiders 3. So I don't even see the Dark Souls reference. Like I like Dark Souls, but I think it's a little bit overrated, seriously. And I use that term correctly. Like, it's overrated. I feel it gets way more praise than it should be getting. It's not that hard. I think, for me, Darksiders 3, it became exactly what it should have been when it comes... Because most people who played Darksiders, man, it's been like 6 years. The studio died. They had to revive 2 fucking studios for that shit. Like, Darksiders was like dead in the water. So most people, all we wanted was just the story to continue. And the story is continuing. Like, they did all, like, the whole team is basically back except for Joe Mad, who like was one of the original founders. And even then, they asked Joe Mad to design Fury for the game, so he actually still kind of worked on it. So you basically have Darksiders for the Darksiders fan. And everybody who's complaining now, I don't know, maybe they were like born in like 2010 and Dark Souls was the first video game or some shit, and that's why they're salty. Like, I don't know. Because the game looks good, it plays the way it should. Like, yeah, it's hard, like I said, but it's hard in the way Darksiders 1 was hard.
Retro, is it better than Darksiders 2?
I don't even think, like, I have to be 100% honest. I don't think it's even better than Darksiders 1. But that's like preference again, because I like the voice character better. And like I said, they took the same battle system. And the main thing that when I play this, that I feel really hard, because like Darksiders 2 is like one of my top 5 favorite video games ever. They took all of the shit that make Darksiders 2 kind of out of it. Like, the huge dungeons are taken out of it. They took like Death, he was customizable. Like, you took gear and you could equip everything on gear if you wanted to make him like arcane based or battle based. Like, you had like spikes on his armor, you got good like wizard robes, that kind of shit. Like, you could customize that like completely, from like his skill sets to like his outward appearance. And Fury just doesn't have that. I feel like Darksiders 3 is way more like Darksiders 1 than it is like Darksiders 2, and that's already why I can't put it that high. So if you take just the gameplay into account, like, it's not better, I feel. So then I have to look at the characters, and like, I'm sorry, like, I love Fury. I think she's such a badass and she's awesome, but man, you already you can beat Death, but like, War was still such a cool fucking character. He was a badass and he was like this fucking brutal kind of guy. And it's like Fury, it's like she doesn't give a shit and she's being kicked around a lot. So I'm like, I'm not that far into the game yet. I doubt I'm halfway through. Like, the goal is to hunt down the sins. I have almost all the sins, but Darksiders, like, it doesn't just end there. Like, with Darksiders 2, you like travel through all these realms. Like, you went to heaven, you went to hell, you went to like earth, you went to like all these fantasy realms, which is what I like to so much. And with Darksiders 3 so far, you're doing the same shit you did in 1. You're basically in Earth for now most of the time. Like, I doubt it's done yet. And I love the character designs. It looks like Darksiders. It feels like it. Like, the character designs for the 7 Sins, man, that's so fucking awesome and that kind of shit. So, in short, I'm having fun with it. It is fucking amazing. It is Darksiders how I want it to be. It's a great game, seriously. Like, even if it is like Dark Souls, what the fuck does it matter? Like, it's a great game. It's definitely my least favorite Darksiders.
So I'm looking... Even the positive reviews, from the negatives to the lowest to the lowest, the positive, they all say the same thing. Lots of technical shortcomings, bad frame rates, loading times. I'm just curious if...
Okay, so like, I have it on the PS4 thanks to like Skate's Finest. Like, I can play this shit now, and the PS4 is technically like one of the stronger console versions out there, and I think graphically the game looks good. I don't have any issues with that at all. I don't have frame rate issues. I think it runs really smoothly. Like I said, it just plays slower than Darksiders 2, but that's just because of the game design, because the combat is like the first game, so it plays slower. The one issue I do have, and this is something I never complain about. I did not even complain about this in Lego City Undercover. I did not see the issue, because Lego City Undercover, you load it once, and then you were free game. Darksiders 3 has horrendous loading times. I don't understand how in this day and age it can be like this, because like, you load the game and it takes forever, and then you load an area and it loads a little bit faster. But every single fucking time you die, which in all honesty, it's gonna be a lot. It has to load for so fucking long, and there's been like 3 updates already, and there's gonna be a new update because the last patch like introduced a glitch where all of a sudden randomly like the sound of my PS4 just fucking dies, and not the game. Like I go into the menu and there's no sound in my PS4 anymore. And like Gunfire, they like actually replied to me like that is because of Darksiders, and they're gonna patch it. Like I don't see the frame rate, I don't see the graphic, I don't have any issues with that. But I swear these loading times, they are fucking awful.
Yeah, that's. I mean, Resident Evil 7's initial load time was almost 3 minutes. If you close the game, if you leave it resumed, like I would do a lot of times. But all right, just the last thought. Not that we really care about Metacritic scores, but what do you think the Metacritic score is for Darksiders 3 on PlayStation 4?
I don't know for the PlayStation 4. I think the last thing I heard, the Metacritic itself was at like 60 or something, and I think like viewer basis was like 7 point something.
Yeah, you're right.
I think that is more fair. Because I think the Metacritic, a lot of people, they like look at those technical aspects, which most of them I don't agree with, and a lot of people just complain about the Dark Souls shit. I don't understand in this day and age why, like, it's a problem that a game plays like another game. It's like, what the fuck is that shit? It's not like Dark Souls was the first Dark Souls. Like on the GameCube, like what was that game called? Knights of the Temple, which plays exactly like Dark Souls now. Like I don't see the issue with games resembling that. So that's why I feel like the 7.7, like if I have to be honest and objective, is a fair score. Like the 7.7, I think last time I checked was 7.7, because the main thing is like I said, the continuation of the story, and it's great, and like it's seriously, it is a good game. So I think that's a lot more fair.
All right, and
so I was going to say it's weird how people like to pick and choose what they decide. What games are influenced by what other games. And it's most of the time, if it's like a big, huge title, people seem to be more forgiving. But if it's like your mid-tier title or indie title, people seem to like have fun brutalizing, saying that these games are clearly influenced by these other games.
Yeah,
and that is the reality, but it's also the reality in AAA games as well. I remember I was talking, just recently about God of War, and I said it takes so much from Zelda. It's unreal. But people, you would never hear the Sony boy say that God of War, the new God of War, takes from a Zelda title or the Metroid title. They won't have it. So like I said, it's weird how people pick and choose that stuff.
And with Darksiders, it's especially weird because, like I said, with the first 2 games, they were open and clear. I think they promoted that shit like that. Even like it's a love letter to the Zelda franchise. I think that was 2, and the first one to another franchise. I don't remember. They have done this before, so I don't know why all of a sudden people make such a fucking big deal of that bullshit. I mean, I thought Dark Souls was good. If Dark Souls was so good, I mean, like, why are you giving it like a 6, or like a 3 or bullshit? It's like, come on, you like Dark Souls, so now all of a sudden it's bad because the system's implemented in another game, which has like totally never done before since Dark Souls released.
Here's a curious little IGN opinion video that they uploaded a couple days ago. Crash Team Racing beat Mario Kart at its own game. Curious, anybody watch that?
No, what the fuck?
There isn't Crash. Was that on PlayStation 1?
I think it was one, yeah.
I mean, it looks for a PlayStation 1 game. I mean, it looks. I've never seen it before.
No, Crash Team Racing is fun as hell.
It looks pretty good. It looks better than Mario Kart 64
games visually on PlayStation.
I'm just wondering I'd be curious to find out what they think it did to beat Mario Kart, which at that point had only been on the Super Nintendo.
This is the time to get caught by clickbait because he saw a title that offended him. It's like what did he say about Mario Kart?
I wouldn't have brought it up, but that game's coming.
If you're comparing it to Mario Kart 64, you may have something. But...
Well, it
looks like I've been saying. It looks like it looks pretty solid. I like that Crash is actually a 3D, and the carts are actually 3D character models.
Yeah, the new HD game. I think it's worth keeping an eye on it because it actually looks much better now as a racing game. I mean, I never got caught into the hype of Crash Team Racing. I've got the game myself, and it was all right, but It lacked it lacked the magic. You know, it wasn't as good as Mario Kart 64. I disagree with that, and it definitely wasn't anywhere near fucking good as Diddy Kong Racing. So it was what the PlayStation.
Yeah, you just buy. Don't believe that shit.
Yeah, it was what the PlayStation had. Just like Crash Bandicoot, they had nothing else. So you know the hype levels go through the roof, don't they? Yeah, this is our fucking Mario Kart beat or whatever, and you know, it's fuck off. But the new
I want to fuck off, man. Chill out.
Yeah, the new HD update actually looks.
How many Mario games? How many Super Mario 64s did we get?
Yeah, exactly.
We only got one of them. They had 3 Crash games. They all sold like 7 million copies.
Well, that's Sony's bad habit of not understanding that. You know, maybe we don't have to put out.
Yeah, they like put them all. They put a lot of. Like they milk a franchise in a generation and then they skip it.
Oh, it wasn't.
What's up, Uncharted? How you doing, buddy? That was 3 games in one generation. Goddamn.
Who did Crash? Insomniac? No, that was Naughty Dog. So
they still ain't learned the motherfucking lesson.
I'm thinking of well, you think of like Spyro as well. Spyro was like a yearly thing too.
Yeah,
and Sony pushed them to do that. But I mean,
Sony has bad habits, man.
You know, those guys, they put everything they had into those games. Those companies, that's who did Crash, or that's who did Spyro, right? It was Insomniac.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so because they tried, you know, I think they did like an FPS game before that. It was kind of like it wasn't like Doom. It was more like Quake, and that didn't do well. And they basically needed their next game to do well, and it was Spyro. So it kicked ass. You know, it wasn't just like, you know, Sony pushing them. They really wanted to put those games out themselves.
And they ran it into the ground.
Yeah.
And I will say, if Crash Team Racing, this new like remastered or whatever they're calling it, if that's a good game, and you know you guys get it on Switch, I'll fucking buy it. Like I don't.
I'm get it.
If it's a good solid kart race,
it's a solid kart racer.
Yeah, but I say it is a good game.
And the online, you know, Switch doesn't get snubbed for some feature. You know, if it's a parody,
I don't think it would. I don't think
fucking PlayStation 1 game. It better not.
I didn't hear it. Is it actually confirmed as a remaster of the original one? Like
that's what the
yeah, it's a remaster.
It's like I don't get that really. Like, why not just make like a new game?
Yeah,
you know, it's a bit weird to remaster.
Are you arguing semantics?
Because they don't have the ability to make.
How dare you?
It's gonna feel like a new game, probably though. I mean,
to a lot of people,
most likely, yeah. But still, it's like weird. Like I expect them to, like, when you say remaster, it's like, okay, they're just gonna copy everything that the old one had, and then
it's not it's a remake. They're building. It's from the ground up with the new engine.
It's just like what they've done with the new Crash Bandicoot
it's
games.
Got 4-player split screen. So
it's like
they can't make it. Here's the thing: you're not getting a new one because every new game that came out in the Crash or Spyro series has been trash ever since. You know,
to be fair, the Wii ones for Crash weren't terrible,
but
they were lower quality.
They were pretty mediocre though.
Lower quality than the already low quality Crash.
So that's why
because they tried to do the monster mechanic and it got kind of stupid.
They didn't know where to go with it, you know. So it's just
I kind
of more blame. I wonder if that's more Activision than it is.
Well, Activision was doing what the problem is Insomniac and Naughty Dog had moved on to other things. So Activision was doing the best they could do, which wasn't that good.
Because they didn't make the IP. They weren't
right. They didn't make the IP. They were just trying to cash in.
That's why they're getting remakes of Crash and Spyro's, because
that's what
they have the template for the game already. So all they have to worry about is copying. And if the game was decent in the beginning, then you can copy it like Shadow of the Colossus. I mean, that was a great.
I will say, I think it wasn't like Activision did. To be fair, it wasn't like Activision did terrible because I mean, Spyro had those weird grittier remakes that did okay.
No, I'm just saying they did the best that they could do. Yeah, so that's why you're not getting new ones.
Yeah, asking somebody to actually come up with a brand new Crash Team Racing game from scratch.
I completely, I disagree with this shit, man. Because we say we're using the templates from before. The templates from before were trash, man. You know, you can't hold Crash Bandicoot as someone
who's been playing Crash Bandicoot 1, That game design.
You can't hold them up there on this pedestal as if they can't be beaten by some other company.
I'm just
That
saying,
game design. Well, because a lot of people said they liked what was it, Crash Twinsanity and a few of the other PlayStation 2 games.
These were all
they're not bad. I'm just saying they're just mad. I mean, they're just
they're mad.
They're not
those mad ass games, yo.
No, they're just mad.
That's another thing that makes me laugh as well, because these were all on a PS2 and the GameCube and the original Xbox and on the Wii and stuff, and no one bought them. Do you know why no one bought those Crash Bandicoot games afterwards? Do you know why no one was hyped for Crash Bandicoot on the PlayStation 2? Yeah, fucking next gen, let's go Crash Bandicoot. Crash Bandicoot was always fucking trash.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
You can't get hyped for that shit.
Well, and the thing is, they had way more options than Crash.
They also oversaturated. Really. I think that was the main issue.
Which is why we got Jak and Daxter. And Jak and Daxter is what should have continued, even though it did. And the first Jak and Daxter was so fucking good, and the other two were like, yeah, okay. You know, even Naughty Dog fucked those up, so you can't even rely on Naughty Dog to make a good fucking platform.
Jesus Christ! I was
talking to a vet, man.
There's a lot of goddamn Crash.
I thought I hated Crash the most. But...
I loved the first Jak and Daxter. It was one of the best 3D platformers of that generation. It was really fucking good. Yeah. And they went and fucked it up with a change of direction. Just like Ubisoft done with Prince of Persia. Sands of Time is one of the best games ever fucking made. It's a fucking awesome game. And then Warrior,
so good.
And then Warrior Within and the Two Thrones. They just I don't know how you could fuck it up.
That's Ubisoft pushing out sequels right away.
Yeah.
They did that with
that's to me, I think that's the issue in general. Because Crash went too much back to back, so did Spyro.
Well, Assassin's Creed was supposed to be continuation of
it's meant to be Prince of Persia, wasn't it?
Prince of Persia, but they realized they wanted to do some other things with it.
The biggest problem they made with that game was, let's have it be in the future, but you're controlling someone from the past. Like that added nothing to this game.
It had that story, that whole thing kind of swallowed its own bullshit. After a while, it's just like, come on.
Ubisoft are weird like that with their games.
But it allowed them to kind of keep switching up the theming every game, if nothing else.
They could have still done that. They didn't need the.
No, I'm not saying it wasn't. I still don't think it was greatly executed, but at least it did do something.
Do you know what they've done? They're doing what everyone is asking Nintendo to do with Zelda: lock themselves into a continuation of a story.
Right, I was just thinking
in order to get another fucking games. That's where they fucked up.
Because Odyssey actually.
I love it how lately.
Or what's the new one? Origin?
No, Odyssey.
That was Odyssey. You had it.
Assassin's Creed. Yeah, that actually looks like the combat system. It looks like a pretty good game. That'd be actually.
My friend is playing it, and we both got our history with Assassin's Creed, and he's actually really enjoying this game. He does actually recommend it for the change, and coming from him with an Assassin's Creed game, that's something I actually take note of. So it is meant to be all right,
Hopefully, this people be bullshit.
Yeah.
Another Assassin's Creed game and see what happens.
You're gonna learn today.
But just getting back to the original, like I hope if this Crash Team's a good game, good kart racer, I have no problems playing it. It's gonna be it'll be interesting to see if it's day and date, because they made it like all about PlayStation, but then I see Xbox has it on their YouTube channel or whatever, and I'm not sure if Nintendo put one.
No, what happened is the Nintendo version may be getting delayed. Apparently, you can't even pre-order anymore. They said on the website it's changed from the same date to what do they usually do? Let me say that.
Brian, with Assassin's Creed won't fucking surprise me.
Yeah, I think it might get delayed.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That happened with Dark Souls. It was the same kind of situation.
I wonder who's porting it. That's my question.
Yeah.
Because I know it's not going to be worked on by the main developer.
Probably the same team that did the Crash Insane trilogy.
Yeah, probably the same team who ported those. Or those, I'm saying, because Spyro's not.
Well, I mean, technically it was 3 games.
No, I'm saying those. I was thinking like Spyro, but Spyro's not.
Oh, okay. That's coming later.
I would be
crazy. It's crazy how the Switch still isn't considered as a priority console.
I know.
I think it's more so because of the time.
Fuck that, man.
It's different. So you gotta have a dedicated team. But so like, and that's what people have been doing for decades in gaming.
So Switch has been off for 2 years now. They've known about it probably for 3 years.
Hey, look, I'm not saying they didn't have any confidence.
After the PU, they didn't have much confidence in it.
Yeah, that's it. We're still feeling it, you know. It's fucking.
Well, yeah, it's going to take them the whole Switch generation to regain that trust.
Pretty much.
It's not like people keep acting like, oh, well, why don't these games just automatically come? Just because you had a good first year doesn't mean you're gonna get all the fucking games in the world all of a sudden. Like think about it. Like, especially with Nintendo. Nintendo's had a pretty consistently bad history with like major third parties' main games for like at least 2 generations.
And there's still a pretty decent barrier with the cart size.
Because they're still because the cart size is still fucking expensive.
Yeah, and I last week it was last week. I didn't really talk about my Xbox One S.
Go ahead.
I know somebody asked me. I thought, and I
did ask you.
Too many people started talking and never got
into
it. But speaking of file size, because I finished God of War. It doesn't track how much time, but I feel like I put at least 25 to 30 hours in that game. And then Xbox One, I got, and then I actually got a new surround receiver with the newer surround formats and stuff. And I will say, as an audiophile guy, hearing like Forza Horizon and Black Ops and even Rise of the Tomb Raider on Game Pass with like uncompressed audio, like that's something I miss on PC when I game. And Switch, for the most part, has good sound, I would say. For a Nintendo system, it's probably the best. But I think the leap in the sound, the difference between the high-end sound of the PS4, Xbox One versus the Switch is a bigger leap than the visuals for me. Like, it's so incredible, like with a good surround sound setup, with a good subwoofer, what you can experience on. And I think that's a huge part of the file size, because uncompressed audio in movies is like half.
It's a lot, yeah.
And Black Ops 4 was 41 gigs on the disc. It took, from plugging the system in, hitting the power button, it took an hour for the Xbox to update and install that 41 gigs off the disc. It was over an hour before I could even do anything, because that's a multiplayer only game, so I couldn't even start it it said I could start it, but all I could do was get to the menu. And then it was a 65 gig patch, which was the rest of the game.
That's a giant patch.
They just had an update on like Wednesday, another 26 gigs for Black Ops 4. So
130 gigs.
They added, they added maps and stuff for free, and I guess there's some you can buy, but they added content. It wasn't just patch stuff, so they added new maps and stuff. But I'm thinking, I should have realized it before, but seeing that firsthand, experiencing that, there is absolutely no way we'll ever see a Call of Duty game on the Switch unless it's a port of one of the older games. Like if they do a Black Ops Remastered or something, there's no way they're going to try to put a game that's currently at 130 some gigs on the base Xbox. This isn't even 4K textures. I don't even know what the 4K version. There's no way they're going to try to squeeze that down to 20 gigs or 16 gigs. Like I just see zero chance of that. And I don't know what it would take technically. I don't have the knowledge there. I don't know if you take the audio compression and you take away like higher quality textures, I don't know how small they could get it. I don't even know if I'd want that mentality on the Switch. Me personally, even if I like the game, I don't think I'd want that type of mentality as a game developer on this, like those size patches and shit. I wouldn't even want that kind of stuff brought to the Switch. So, that's definitely a hurdle for some of these companies, I would say, if not the biggest hurdle. So that was kind of, luckily, the Xbox now is a terabyte standard, so I have 600 gigs left after I got Black Ops, Horizon 4, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and Rocket League downloaded.
Wait, Rise of the Tomb Raider?
I got Game Pass, so
Oh,
I got it.
Hell?
So, you know, with those 4 games, 2 of which are huge, Forza Horizon's another almost 100 gigs. It's like 80, I think. Maybe it's 60, but, you know.
Those are all the good games out of the way.
Yeah, I will say Horizon 4 is the best racing game I've played since Grid on the Xbox 360. It's a really well made and a great playing game. So, and I wouldn't want it, you know, every other year. I don't think it's worthy of that. But for me, it's been since I played the demo of Horizon 1, and I haven't played one since. So it's been a nice long 10-year gap for me. But you know, for a game that's on Game Pass, it's pretty high quality. So I'll have to get my playtime in before my month trial ends, and then I won't have access to it anymore. But I would say overall, it's kind of like the PS4. I plugged in Uncharted 4, did the updates. I was playing in like 20 minutes. So it installed quicker. It's probably less to install at the time. PS4 update was smaller and quicker. The system's probably just overall faster with that stuff. And I would say like the Xbox OS is just unnecessarily cumbersome and it just doesn't feel like a game system, and it doesn't feel like a central hub entertainment system, because it's just to get to the apps and games is a separate tab. Like your main home screen has like 2 recent games and then some promotional stuff.
Yeah, they messed that up towards the end of the 360 life. I used
I'm kind of used to my sister
UI at the beginning.
Then you got to click on the games and apps, and then that brings up a separate window. Then if you hit the home button on the controller, it brings up a sub menu on the side that you can go to settings, and you got to use right and left bumper to go through like 6 or 7 different menu settings, or
TV,
not like
TV,
and it's like, holy shit, like it's way too unintuitive. Like I just don't understand how
it was built with TV in mind. That's the problem. Well, I don't understand.
It's changed so much since then, but they're still holding on to that whole TV thing because it still has the HDMI in.
I mean, that's the problem. It's so integrated into the original concept of the Xbox. It's hard to get around that stuff, even when they do these updates and stuff.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not a deal breaker, but it's just like, why is it feel so like I got to hit so many different layers of menus just to get to playing the game or get to, you know, like settings. It was hard. I really had to mess around. Like, where the fuck are the settings? Like it's just hidden. PS4s is definitely easier to figure out. I don't love it, but you know, Xbox is definitely going to be my 4th console, the 4th system. But
if only they had like a multi-billion-dollar software company to help them design.
You know, the Switch is.
Oh wait,
it's like the Switch is the extreme one side with it's a game machine. You turn it on, and there's your games, and you play your games. Like, you know, the Switch could use a few little tweaks, I think, to the
3DS.
OS.
Like, you can use some 3DSing.
If I could just hit down and then my apps are down and my games are above it instead of the games and apps all in one row, because it's like, oh wait, I haven't used YouTube in a while. Where the fuck is it? Oh, I got to scroll all the way to the right. If I could just hit down, there's your apps. Go back up. There's your games. Probably be a nice tweak. But so you know, I'll play because my buddy bought me the Xbox. He's got money to burn. He paid his house off. He makes ridiculous good money, and he's just like, he likes to blow his money. So I was like, he come over, had the Xbox sitting there, and I was like, man, dude, you shouldn't have, like, not because I wanted it and you shouldn't have, but you really shouldn't have, because I really don't want the system. But
how did you repay him down in your deep dark basement, man?
I repaid him by playing fucking Black Ops 4 against my will, even though it is a decent Call of Duty game, I will say. But then I start opening it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I was gonna get the X, but then you don't have a 4K TV." I'm like, "Dude, I was gonna get one probably in the next couple months." He's like, "Well, we could." He's like,
"Trade it in.
We could take it in, and then you pay the extra." I'm like, I already opened it. I don't think they're gonna take it back. Like, so
they would have took it back probably.
I'm stuck with the S, and I really wish it was the X because
they just said something was wrong with it. They took it back.
Yeah,
it should. But
at least the S got a 4K Blu-ray player, right?
It does, and streaming, and it doesn't have a power brick. It's a really small system. It's
clean.
It looks nice. It feels, it's heavy. It feels pretty well made. Overall, it's not a bad. The design and the actual hardware is not bad. So, but it's not going to get my focus. It's going to be Switch, PC. If I get another PS4 game, probably in 2019, there'll be a couple. And then Xbox, just to talk about Game Pass, because I know, Red Knight, he's all about the Game Pass, and I will say, if a game comes out you want to play, and for $10, if you can beat it in a month, it's a nice rental service. There's only about 100. Yeah, I say only. There's just over 100 games on there. At least half of them are classic games like Banjo-Kazooies and like Xbox Live arcade games. I'd say that makes up about half. The other half are really, pretty top tier games. They're older, like Rise of the Tomb Raiders and what was the other one I wanted to play? Sunset Overdrive. Some older games. For $10, maybe get it for 2 months, $20. You could play all these games that maybe you wouldn't go out and buy. It's a nice service. I mean,
I will say for me, probably clocked it too, but it's definitely retro. The sex shit has no value to me.
Yeah,
because I need to have something, and if a game isn't valuable enough for me to buy and have, then why even waste my time with it at any point? Just because it's cheaper on the server, like that doesn't move me at all one bit. Now I'm sure for some people it does.
Well, I mean, I don't know about you, but I used to rent. I mainly rented.
Right, people that I know a lot of people that used to rent because gaming is expensive, and
I think this is the best option for renting games. It has limitations though, because not every game's available. It's not new game. It's not a lot of new games. Like you want to play. I think Battlefield 1's on there, but not Battlefield 5, obviously. It's just came out. But for me, it's a good little testing. Hey, you want to try out a game? If you like the game, you might find 5-6 games you end up liking that you wouldn't even really thought about. Like I would never have bought Forza Horizon 4 for $60. But after playing this, I'm like, I'll see how far I get in a month, and maybe the first month's free. Maybe I'll pay the $10 to get it another month. But it's a game I feel like I wouldn't have a problem buying and owning now that I've played it. For that.
I've never rented a video game in my life, not even once. Never rented it once. And even if I borrowed games off friends, I hate it because I feel pressured. I feel
pressure, right?
Yeah, in order to get that game done. Obviously I play demos and stuff. Demos I can keep. Especially back in the day with demo discs and stuff. But yeah, I've never rented the game, and I don't like borrowing them.
I rented probably 3 times more N64 games than I bought. I bet I've rented like over 50 games, if not more.
I think in the past, when I was really little, my parents maybe once or twice rented.
I'm guessing renting's not a big thing in Europe, just based on.
The thing is like, the thing is this, like, it's like what T said, like, I want my shit physical. I already have a hard time with digital. I do it. I have a pretty big Steam library. I mean, come on Steam, let's say God of War 4 comes out on Steam. After 2 months, you pay $5, you have it. Steam is fucking cheap as hell. If you're a fucking cheapskate, you gotta go on Steam, So yeah, if it gets $2, I'll get it on Steam and shit, And I use my Steam a lot. And so I don't have a problem with digital games. I prefer physical games. I do have a problem with paying money, like Collector said, feeling pressure to play it, and the game is gone. And it's like I'm looking at my empty hand where my money used to be, my other hand where my game used to be. It's like I have nothing. It's like, what is that shit?
Yeah, I guess it's just a difference of how you're brought up. Because I was at Blockbuster every weekend, renting a game every weekend, for years. So that's just how I've always.
I rent movies, no problem. That's
I buy my movie. I buy movies.
Back then.
I rent a lot. So I'm just trying to word it in a way that would help people. It's a good rental service. If you like the idea of renting stuff, GameFly, whatever. I think it's a nice option. But my main point I was getting to, it's not that I don't even think they have a year like option. It's a 1 month thing. You're not going to keep paying $10 a month, for the life of this system. And just because to me, then you're spending way too much money for something you don't own. I'm on the free trial, so it's hard to really have a true feeling on it. But I can tell you right now, after this trial ends, I'm already planning on getting at least 1 month after, just to continue and maybe finish up a couple games, and then I'll be done. Because for me, Forza Horizon 4 is not a game I ever need to have a disc for or own. Like once I'm done playing it, I'll be done playing it. Especially knowing there'll be a 5th game in 2 years. This type of thing. But if it was like, I wouldn't do it. Let's say Shadow of the Tomb Raider was coming out on Game Pass, a game I'm anticipating. I'm going to buy that game and own it. Like I'm not going to wait for Game Pass and play it that way. Like a game I really want to own and play, I'll own. But it's more for me, I see it as a good way to try things. There's no way I'd ever buy Sunset Overdrive, but if I'm going to download it and play it, and if it grabs me, then maybe I'll look for it, because like I said, this Game Pass is going to end fairly soon. Probably it's going to feel, it's already been almost 2 weeks, so I might play it, say, hey, I like this, and if I find it for a decent price, I might pick it up. So I wouldn't.
Sunset Overdrive, I see it like all the time, brand new for like $10, literally.
Yeah,
I've never seen it in the stores since it was new. So I don't know
you
what
don't look at the Xbox section. That's why you just walk past it.
Yeah, I don't know what it costs right now. I'm just saying it. I'm gonna try it because it's free for me to try it. So I'm gonna try it.
I totally get where you're coming from. I think that service stuff like that works more for people like the one you said you have a friend who, he plays games, but he's not really paying attention to the little details.
Yeah, he's the one that buys all the shit. He's the guy that bought the Xbox.
For him, that works better. But for me, I'm not going to be discovering anything. Oh my God, I got this game on my service and I'm playing. I already know. Like I'm so into gaming that I'm following stuff. Like I already know if I'm going to like something. And it's not. I don't think I'm going to be surprised by playing it if I'm going to like it or not.
Yep.
So for me, that's not going to be a thing that, oh man, I discovered all these games. That's not going to happen for me because I'm already into gaming so much. I follow pretty much everything, and I'm not going to be surprised by that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'll say that I used to do GameFly when I was younger because obviously I couldn't pay for my games and we'd do GameFly and it'd be like me and my stepdad. We'd always get like shit, whatever it is on the Wii or something. I'd be like, oh, I want to play that, but they'd have also GameCube. They'd have so many variety of games that I couldn't pick up all those. So that was perfect for me, the GameFly stuff. And I would probably love Game Pass when I was younger, but once I got a job and stuff, I was like, I don't want to have this game for 2 seconds. I want to buy it,
Which is so weird.
I want to buy it and then play it for 2 seconds.
You rush through your games finish them so quickly. It's like so geared towards you. That's weird.
I will say, just to throw my 2 cents in here, I think every Nintendo, Super Nintendo, N64 game, and half of my GameCube games that I ever played were through rentals. Like, we didn't have the money for shit. I think I actually only own like 2 games from those generations, which was like the original Sonic the Hedgehog and like Super Mario World. Like most of the games I played back then were through rentals, through Blockbuster, or we had something called Movie Gallery down here and that kind of stuff. I always saw the value in Game Pass, but it just never made sense to me from the business side of things, only because it's like, if you got $60 games that are worth the money, why make them so easily available to
I don't understand it from Microsoft's perspective at all.
Yeah, like it's a very pro-consumer thing to do. It just doesn't make any sense business-wise. It's like, why would you do that? Say what?
I don't care.
I mean, I don't care. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but also, I mean, how many games are on the Switch right now? Like 500 or something, or more?
1,000.
Like, no one's gonna and the Xbox has probably just as many. Like, no one's ever gonna buy all those games. I mean,
why would you?
I would say the majority of
all those games. It's going back to why you buy the games that you know you're going to like.
I'm gonna say the majority of games are not worth buying on any system. So,
and for me, if they're not worth buying, they're not worth playing.
I mean, that's where I draw a line, because to me, a game like a racing game is worth playing, but if I don't have to buy it, I mean, that's a good choice or option, I think. I'm not saying
personal taste. I'm not telling you.
I'm not saying Game Pass is, oh my god, it's so good, but I see it now.
Don't tell him how to live his life.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying there is an audience.
Stop telling him how to live his life.
I see it from a new perspective now. I never really thought of it as a rental service before. Now I see it. That's all it is.
That's all I looked at it as a rental.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying it's an audience for that. People don't value games the way I do, and people like clocked it, like I said, and
you're absolutely
retro.
I just totally disagree with a game's worth playing might not be worth buying. I can see there's many examples for me where
let's look at the NES Online app right now, whereas before those games were on the Virtual Console, and now they're just part of this app, and we're paying our subscription fee. Even with my subscription service now, I'm not playing these games.
Don't touch them. I don't even touch them.
They're there, and I'm not playing them.
Because they're NES games.
So perhaps later on now, when when I say when, fucking hell. Actually, I don't want to talk about this. Let's change subject.
I would say
not because they're NES games, because I'd rather play them on my NES. Like, because it feels like it's tangible to me. People always get upset when you say that. Like, I know I'll put a post on a video about retro gaming or something. And the guy's like, "Oh, why don't you just Raspberry Pi it?" Because that's nothing. Like, I would rather pay $100 to figure out how to make my NES console look good on my HD TV and play it that way than to play some digital crap.
That's how I feel. For example, like emulating and shit. I'd rather pay $100 for an old game and put it in my actual NES. Like,
right.
For me, it's it's simply one thing.
Not nuts. He said NES. I know it sounded like nuts.
Oh, right.
The NES.
I'm gonna put that game in my nuts.
Yeah, I see it as it's simply just one thing. The games that are on that Nintendo NES, the Switch Online,
never change. Retro never change.
If the games that I want to play, I bought them on the Virtual Console, and I already got my replay.
There's
out
that
of them.
too.
That's literally all it is. For me, it has nothing to do with
that. I just don't care about putting them in.
I have 3DS. I have an NES Classic Mini. I have an SNES Classic
Mini. It's just oversaturation of I mean, I think that's if Star Fox 2 would have, instead of being on the Super NES Mini, was part of this, Nintendo Switch Online, to me, like, I would have been mad. Oh, I can never buy this game, because you technically can't. It's on the Super NES Mini, but the actual separate game's never going to be able to be purchased.
But that's the other thing. I don't want to have to be online to play it either.
Well, you don't have to be online. You just I think if there was a game I haven't recently replayed on the Virtual Console in the last few years, hits that Nintendo Switch, NES, whatever it's called, the super long name, then I'm like, all right, that's what stopped me, is I've already replayed these games so much, I'm not interested anymore in replaying until they add something that's like, wow, it's been a while since I played that one. I want to play it. That's that's stopping me.
At this point, we're talking about NES games. That's not enough of a value at this point, after, like you said, Virtual Console and from the 3DS to the Wii and Wii U. Like, at this point, that's not enough of a value.
It's like Disney movies. You bought them on VHS, then you bought, let's say your favorite one is Bambi, just first one popped in my mind. Then you bought it on DVD. Then it came out on Blu-ray, and then it came out on Ultra HD, and you're just I think the Blu-ray still hold a little appeal for people, because, oh man, look at how, this animation does look amazing in HD. But then it's like, oh, now they're on Ultra HD. It's like people don't care anymore. Like, it's just too much. It's been too many times these particular games. And you know,
by that
like
time you have a kid, and the kid is being a little bitch because you have a laptop and you want Bambi on there, but there's no disk drive, so you gotta buy a digitally.
Now there's digital. You know, it's like
voodoo, man.
It's just been too much of that. So, just like I said, I think if you have an Xbox and it's worth at least for 1 month, there's enough games on there. I think for somebody that
to play on it, so you might as well play those games.
For somebody that's like, I don't really have $60 to throw on one game, you pay $10 and you can play. You know, I would say there's at least a dozen like really top tier games that if you haven't played are worth playing. I mean, I happen to have played Rise of the Tomb Raider already, but if I hadn't, that I would have been pretty stoked to have it and be able to play it. So,
but I think I just thought about this because I was at a pawn shop, which is so glorious to me because in Massachusetts, I had to drive like 40 miles to get to a pawn shop, and they're all over the place here, and I miss that.
Yeah, it's the joy of being in the South. We get rid of our shit.
That's true. But that's the thing. This was like, and if this would be more of a bigger thing earlier in the Xbox's life cycle than it is now, because I can go to a pawn shop. I just looked today, and 4 games for $10, Xbox One. I mean, there's so many options. If you don't have any games and you want to get a quick, good amount of games, there's a lot of options for that than to pay, this monthly service. You're feeling like, oh man, I got to keep paying the service to keep these games, So
yeah, for me, like I said, there's only a handful. Like I could be like, oh, I never played Banjo-Tooie. Maybe I'll try that game. I know Clocked It says it's not that good compared to the first one, but I never played it, so I could
it's just not as focused as the first one. It's good.
And say, hey, I finally played this game for them. But that's not the type of games I would consider paying for the service. Paying a month for. But it's just
like, what if that was on Switch? What would you see yourself?
Like if Switch had like N64, you can play Banjo-Tooie now. Finally, I mean, to me, that would be something I'd play on the NES.
Oh yeah, retro games. I mean, like new games that come out for the system currently. Like,
if Game Pass was on Switch, you're saying?
Yeah, with Game Pass is on Switch.
I mean,
what is on there that I didn't buy this, but I guess I'll check it out on my Game Pass.
Nothing. Well, I'd probably play Kirby. Probably try Mario Party. If those were on there. Those are games I wouldn't buy, but I would check out if I had them.
The disrespect, I'll tell you.
I'd play the Tropical Freeze again if it was on there with the basically the Switch version.
Just vastly more appealing games for us, so I feel like
Yeah, Nintendo does have more. I wouldn't see them putting their entire first party lineup on, but maybe
they wouldn't do that. That's the thing.
As far as like, I would probably try the Crash Insane trilogy if it was on Game Pass, just to say, hey, I played Crash fine. I played it on Uncharted 4. I think it's the only. Well, I played the original PlayStation 1, but as far as the
that is the original PlayStation 1. It's on Uncharted 4.
Yeah, that's the only one. I played the original on the PS1, and I played that stage on Uncharted 4. I've never played anything else. So
did it give you the whole original game in Uncharted 4?
No, it's just the first level. Stage.
And I couldn't make it through. I kept
seriously?
Yeah. Trash.
That perspective is kind of jacked up, though.
But for Switch, I mean, a lot of the, there's definitely the indie games that float to the top and do well, but I'm sure there's hundreds that just get completely ignored. Mm-hmm. So there's quite a few games on the eShop when I was scrolling through that. I wouldn't mind trying, but I'm not going to buy because I don't know.
Actually, perhaps
those guys couldn't afford to have that.
So I was going to say, perhaps that'd be actually a good initiative by Nintendo to push their Nintendo Nindies even further.
And that would be cool. Like if it was focused on Nindies.
Yeah.
That would be dope. Like I would be down for that because they're already digital.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and I think that would work. I'd definitely sign up for that. Right.
And by the way, Sunset Overdrive is $7.99 on Amazon for Xbox One.
There you go.
So I think, for Sony, I think it would get me to try some games, that I definitely wouldn't go out and buy. Like if Spider-Man was on there, and let's just say let's say it was same scenario, but PlayStation, and it was you buy the system, you get a free month, like say Spider-Man's on there, definitely going to play that. But I'm not going to go out buy it. I'm not going to, maybe won't even finish it, but I would try it. What else did Sony have?
Well, I'm just saying there's not enough monthly value in that. That's not
that's what I'm saying. It's something you get. Like I said, I would probably play a few games, and then maybe when Crackdown 3 comes out, I'll pay $10 and play it for a month. I don't know. It's just.
Or you wait a month and then you pay $10.
That too.
Yeah.
So it's just I haven't.
That's cool. That's cool.
I feel like
no one's. I'm not chewing out Game Pass here. I think it's a great service for those who want it. It's always just preferences.
There's an audience for it. Obviously, there's an audience for it.
And I'm really what they're thinking with putting their brand new first party games on there. I mean, I could play Sea of Thieves right now for free and try it. I have no interest.
You try, man.
No interest.
But I thought about it, but I was like, no, I'm not gonna waste time downloading it. Like I just really don't care. But like if Crackdown 3 was out now, I would check it out while I had the free trial. So I just feel like
you sit there and download that shit and then it sucks.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what happens when the trial's up, and just to see what I'm sure it'll say, take me to the screen to buy Game Pass again. But you download the full game. You have the whole game on your system. So when that trial's up, I'll have a lot more room on my Xbox. And I actually have a code for the full version of Forza Horizon.
Is it 1 terabyte? Yeah,
it's a 1 terabyte. Yeah. And like I said, I have, Black Ops 4's 130 gigs, and Forza Horizon's 60 to 80. I can't remember the total. Rise of the Tomb Raider, Rocket League, Snake Pass. Because I was curious how Snake Pass played with analog triggers. And it's not the analog triggers that are the problem. it's the left analog stick moving the head of the snake. That's the frustrating part. So that was one of those things. I almost bought it on PC just because I felt like, man, if I have analog triggers, I feel like I could climb so much easier. And I got to try that. And I was wrong. It's the way the head attaches to things, and you got to press it, and you think, oh, his bottom of his face is right on this bamboo stick, and then all of a sudden it slips off and you're completely falling, and you're falling to your death. That's nothing about the triggers change that. So
I'd be pissed off if you figured that out to be true. I'm like, that's bullshit.
I feel like there's a certain, because I was just sitting there tapping the fucking Pro Controller, ZR to cross slow, and I'm like, I feel like if I could just barely press it and do it slow, it would be easier. But I didn't play it long enough to really get the feel for it. But just another thing, a game I already have, and I'll probably download Doom as well, just to because I never played Doom on a true good audio system. So I was like, I might play through the first level or two just to see what I've been missing this whole time on the full uncompressed audio. So anyway, that was a lot of Xbox talk, and
and nothing, and no one's actually any more money on it.
Most Xbox talk we had all year.
And I honestly I can't think, and I'm looking in there's not a single game I would buy on the Xbox versus the PlayStation, unless I end up getting Xbox Live.
You had an X.
And if I had the X, I would.
Which is why I don't understand why the fuck why people own a PlayStation 4 and Xbox One at the same time.
It feels
redundant.
Honestly, I was like, all right, let me get a little audio nerdy on you.
You mean the usual? Okay.
I'm going through the settings and I'm like, all right, I was like, Black Ops 4 does not sound that good. It's like, what are my audio options? So I go to the home menu, and then you tab over to the settings, and I go to audio, and it has PCM, the Switch, which is just generic. It doesn't. It's the same audio as the Dolby, but it doesn't have a brand name. And then there's standard Dolby surround, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then I see Dolby Atmos, I'm like, well, I got a Dolby Atmos receiver now. That's totally uncompressed audio. So I click on it. It's like, oh, you need to download the Dolby Atmos app. And I'm like, okay. So I downloaded a 100 megabyte app. And the reason they do that is because there's some fucking paid service to do with headphones. I don't even know what it is. There's some paid thing for some headphones or some shit. And but the cool thing about the app is there's all these demos, not playable, but like movie clip, movie trailer clip. There's a 4-minute animated short that's Dolby Atmos, and then they show Shadow of the Tomb Raider trailer, then a Shadow of the Tomb Raider developer interview talking about the sound design and stuff. And you listen to those, and I'm like, holy shit! Like this is the best my sound system's ever sounded. Like it sounds so good. I was like, maybe I'll pick up Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I look, it's $30. So I was like, all right, maybe I'll just pick it up, play it on Xbox. And I was like, wait, hold up. Let me look at Digital Foundry real quick. And they're showing like the screenshots comparisons, and I'm like, God damn, like PlayStation 4 is 1080p. It still has uncompressed audio. So it's like, I just get that version. Wow. And then I look at I see Rise of the Tomb Raider on the Game Pass. I'll download that and see how it looks. And I'm like, God damn, it's definitely not what I'm used to. It's pretty blurry. I mean, it's definitely the least visually impressive of the system, between the PlayStation PC. And I'm like, I cannot, honestly, with everything else being equal, unless it's an online game and I have Xbox Live, I'm not gonna buy the game on my Xbox One S. I'm just not. I mean, it's just facts of life. I mean, it's like if everything's equal, why would you play the lesser visual one? I mean, unless it's an online game.
And now you're like most gamers in 2013.
So for me specifically, if I can answer that,
well, only you can answer it, T. We don't know the answer.
Well, it's ecosystem for me because it's like, what am I actually playing on the most? And out of my PS4 and Xbox One, I'm playing my Xbox One the most because why? Well, backwards compatibility is the big thing. And, I'm going all the way back to my original Xbox One games, or my original Xbox games, I should say. So confusing, stupid Xbox One. I'm going back to them, and they're looking better, and they're running better. And that is, for a retro gamer like me, that is so cool.
Yeah, I'm looking at, just real quick, I'm looking at you talking about ecosystem. I got 10 games on my PS4. I got 1 physical game on my Xbox. I'm like, do I continue? Like, might as well keep supporting. Might keep my ecosystem. I'm supporting this system.
Right,
it does have the visual advantage, and everything else is. I mean,
that's part of the reason why people were buying games on Switch. It wasn't like, oh well, it's not like I already don't own LA Noire. It's not like I already don't own Dark Souls, but it's like, well, I'm playing the Switch now. Like, that's the game, that's the console I'm focused on. So why not get it for Switch? That's why I was conflicted, like with Crash and Valkyria Chronicles 4. I was like, well, I have a PlayStation and I can play it on PlayStation, and it'll probably run and look better on PlayStation. Yeah, I'm probably gonna get it on Nintendo Switch because I've been playing that right now. Because I mean, like, and just to give a comparison, Crash, it's taken me like a few months, and I still haven't really beat the first game yet. Valkyria Chronicles 4, I have like 30 hours in, dead ass, and I just bought that game during Black Friday, like, but it's on the Switch, and I'm playing the Switch. And oh look, there's Smash Brothers right next to it. Oh, look how convenient that is. Switch from one game to the next.
And it's like when Doom Eternal comes out, it's PC first, Switch second. The other two probably aren't even an option. So it's not
insane that you would go from the best looking version to arguably the worst looking version. You would think it'd be like
arguably it is the worst.
There's no arguing.
I'll argue it. I might be wrong, but goddamn it, I'll argue it.
So if you want to say everything's objective, I think that one you can say.
Yes, Robert, it's objectively the worst version of the game. Why buy it?
And it's like even on PC, I get the gyro aiming, so it's like, but the Switch version just holds that special, that little something. It's like
no physical copies, son.
That's my. And I have, I have the first.
I pity the fool.
That's another thing about I have the first 2 Tomb Raiders, so even if I So I bought it on Shadow of the Tomb Raider on PC, even though I had the PS4 there, you know. So I was like, and I game mostly on my, you know, TV in my living room, but I had the other two on Steam, so I'm gonna get the third one. You know, sometimes that is a factor too. And Doom will
is that weird level of completionist?
Yeah,
the controller is also a factor.
It's like actually that was a good example because Arkham Origins, when that came out, I had the Wii U at that point. It actually came out in the Wii U. Now, granted, the Wii U was missing that fucking multiplayer, which in the grand scheme of things,
that shit.
In the grand scheme of things, it didn't matter. And I was like, I could get it for the PS3 or the Wii U. Well, I bought the first two games on the PS3. Fuck it, I'll get it on the PS3. Although you should have never bought that game in the first place. That was the rule I learned that day.
But you know, the final thought on that is, if I did have the Xbox One X, then I think I would get that. I would get it on there. I would get
that's looming in my horizon. So it's like I know I'm going to get one, and it's just like, why would I get the PS4 version of something?
Yeah,
I know I'm getting the Xbox.
Yeah, I'm like, and it's not just visuals. I mean, it's the Xbox One.
It's audio too.
Well, I mean, the S versus the X, I doubt there's an audio gain there, but I'm like, if I get a 4K TV, when you get something new technology, you want something to utilize it. Like, get a 4K TV, then have nothing 4K other than Netflix, like,
and play a Wii.
You know that, and then you're playing. Then I'm playing Doom Eternal at 540p, you know, on a 4K. So it's. I have a video that I actually recorded trying to talk about the difference between being a graphics whore and just like, if you have the option to play the better looking one, like we're having this discussion right now, like if everything else is equal, then is that a factor? So I think it's been
it's whoring versus optimization.
It's like I said in that video, which I haven't uploaded, I probably won't now, but it's like, it's not like I'm not gonna play a game because of the graphics, but I think picking one version over the other, if that's the only difference, and it's not, my Switch is my favorite console, so I have no problem buying Doom Eternal on the Switch. But if it came between the Xbox One and the PS4, then I'm probably going to look for whatever the advantage is, you know. So, and I don't think that's really a graphics whore.
No, not at all. It's not at all.
And like Black Bond said long ago, I just wanted to punch him in the face. He said, because back then you didn't have auto detecting HDMI devices, so you'd plug in your PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360. It might have been when the Wii U came out. He's like, all right, you got a 1080p TV. You plug in your PS3 or your Wii U, and it asks you the resolution. If you weren't a graphics whore, you would just put it at 480p, wouldn't you? And why are you putting it at 1080p? I'm like, are you fucking stupid? That's like,
it's worse.
It's like, okay, you have a stereo here, but you can just turn on one speaker if you want. It's still the same song. Like, why would you turn on all 5 speakers if you have surround sound? Like, it's that's so stupid. That was such a dumb argument. And it's always bugged me. It's like, you have a monitor. I don't care what the resolution is. You're gonna set the device to match the monitor. I have a 1440p monitor. I'm gonna set my display at 1440p. Otherwise, why have a 1440p monitor? It's
common sense.
I don't know why that stuck with me all these years.
You're not gonna use it.
Yeah. And I don't have to play. The funny thing is, I don't play all games at 1440. I put a Shadow Tomb Raider down to 1080 and set the settings a little higher, and I think it's a better trade-off. It runs better, and doesn't look as nice, but it runs better and it's smoother. So I was like, I took the trade-off. I'd rather have the smooth performance. So, whatever. Anyway, I think we're pretty much done here. We'll do final thoughts tonight since Retro's finally back, and I don't think we did it the last few weeks. So, who wants to go first? Robert, you want to go?
Well, I just want to say, you
dropped that fucking Smirnoff, didn't you?
He dropped the Smirnoff.
You dropped, I swear to God, you did.
No.
He got quiet and sleepy.
Yeah.
No, we just talked about this Xbox for so long.
And he's like,
Robert was
that box.
Robert's had one since what, day one?
Yeah, and oh god, man, what a disappointment.
How many games you got for it? How many games?
3. What?
How many games you got for it?
Let me count right now. I see my shelf. 3. 6. No. Count them.
Okay.
Oh.
6, 9, 12. I think I got 12. It looks like
12
12.
games. Day one Xbox owner.
12
12.
and but mind you, most of them are all like just third party. Call of Duty, NBA, Destiny, Lego the movie video game.
Oh my god.
And you want to know why the Xbox One didn't do as well? There's your answer, right?
No, you don't. T, you fucked up. You should say, you want to know why the Xbox One lost?
Well, it lost. I was gonna say failed, but I was like, that's not really fair.
But you know, shit happens, and that's why. That's why you move on, and hopefully, Microsoft will do something better in the future.
Maybe Obsidian will help them.
And watch Spider-Man. That was an amazing movie. And
Spider-Man, what?
Oh, Into the
Spider-Verse.
Oh, Into the Spider-Verse.
You get
The Shadows was a third horse.
I was thinking of the other one. Sorry.
Did you get the early viewing of Aquaman?
I was working.
So I didn't know anything about it. All of a sudden, people were talking about it.
I hear nothing but good things.
You know what, Robert? Didn't you wish you could have seen it?
I was gonna say that if you guys haven't, you should really listen to "I Wish" by Trevor, Trebor.
He's a cool guy, apparently.
He's a cool guy.
I was thinking of R. Kelly when I heard "I Wish."
Man.
Nah, dude. It's about that man Trevor. So look him up. Well, me. I keep putting myself in the third person, but like literally, it's on all platforms. If you listen to it, it would make my life. I would love it. If you
make your wife?
Make your wife?
Make my life.
Put a ring on it.
I wasn't the only one that heard wife.
I think we should all say congratulations because it's not every day that someone can actually create a song and get it out there. So congratulations, Rob.
Yeah, I heard the early version.
Yeah.
But didn't you kind of rework or remaster it a little bit?
No, yeah. Well, this is like what I showed them a while ago, and it was all like I had the AC running in the background. Like it's a lot of shit. But this one was mixed and mastered, and they added like little echoes and shit. It sounds awesome.
How did you do it yourself? All yourself?
Nah, I sent it to like a producer to do it because I don't know how to do it. I need to learn how to do that shit.
Cool. So what do you just recorded the separate track, gave them so they could lower the certain levels of certain things, or
like so like
so they could
track. Yeah.
What's that run you? How much?
What?
How much it costs?
Jesus, I'm not gonna put out there. But
it wasn't free.
No, of course, no, it wasn't free, of course. But it was
worth goddamn much.
I love how it looks. Yeah, I mean, look, sounds. It sounds awesome. What?
What?
What? Did you say that?
Sounds. What you mean?
What? No, but check it out. Add it to your playlist, share with your friends.
I've been singing it all day. I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. Different song.
It is a different song.
Yeah, it's a way different song.
Yeah.
That is a way different song, yo.
That's by Skee-Lo. Came out in 1995.
That's what I knew.
I would not have been able to say remember that name, that's for sure. So yeah, good. Congrats, Rob. Are you gonna have you gonna have a whole album? You gonna try to do that or what?
Yeah. Honestly, no joke. I'm projecting for hopefully March to have a full-fledged album. Next month will be the next single, yo. Next month, single.
Robert's got a lot of.
What?
Can the brother get featured in one of them?
Well, I already finished the whole album, though. I can.
I didn't know you were finished. My bad.
You can do a little guest appearance. You can have them
remix.
I would love to have you on.
Put him on the remix.
Hell's yeah, I would love to have T on because T's fucking awesome too. So I would love to have him on. What?
Remix.
Maybe get Eminem to do a guest appearance, or
if I could get Eminem, of course I get Eminem.
I almost thought Juice was calling.
Imagine reject Eminem. Nah, I don't want Eminem on my track.
Nah, I don't like that dude.
Let's just say I hope
he's a little bit too white for my.
He's not very good.
Yeah.
I hope your album sounds better than the Sonic movie, Sonic Looks. Actually, I don't hate his face. Let's just get sidetracked a little bit. I hate the body and the teaser art.
What
I don't
face?
hate his face.
Yeah, what face?
What face?
The face
unless it's not a
That's not real.
Oh, it
You
isn't?
don't think that's real?
No, it's not real.
That's somebody's rendering.
Yeah, someone
What?
else is there.
Are you sure?
Yo,
Yeah,
stupid.
yeah.
That wasn't
yeah.
like maybe like an older
Y'all
poster or something?
stupid.
Oh, man, y'all thought that was the real thing?
God,
I
I hope.
did. I thought that was
You
legit.
guys got trolled.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
I got
You guys
trolled.
thought
I
that
thought it was
hedgehog
real.
thing was real? Like,
Oh,
you're
no.
talking about the one that's actually a hedgehog? Please, you mean that one?
Yeah.
No,
Yo.
I shared it in the
No,
chat.
no,
a
the
while
one
back.
with Chris Pratt
Yeah,
in the
okay.
thing.
Not that
Yeah,
one.
with Chris
Brown.
Pratt.
That was some old.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was
Concept.
like an old,
That's
yeah,
concept
exactly.
art.
Yeah, but it's still might what he
If
might
I did
look
that
like.
for his face, that looks like how I'd want Sonic to look in
Yeah,
that
that's how it should be.
situation.
I think that honestly looks alright. It ain't nearly as bad as I thought it'd be.
No, it's decent.
I like how this is Kobe.
Anyway,
It
Robert.
sounds like a Kobe
Trash
movie.
anyway.
But
Yeah,
anyway, go look it up. I
I
appreciate
put a
it.
link in this in the chat.
Drop the
I'll
link. Drop the
put it
link.
in the comments.
And yeah,
Don't support Trevor. He'll love you forever.
yeah, yo, and you know,
Ball.
and then check out the next song afterwards in a month probably. So, but that's a while. I'll tell you that later on.
All right,
But,
so
peace. Have a good night.
Terrell,
Not-
let's make this rapid fire. Terrell,
Thank you and good night. All nights are good. Tonight is the night. I dance in the hood. Peace out, bitches.
freestyling.
I'm the genius on the mic, son.
All right, to you.
Come watch me play video games. I stream on Twitch. Come watch me play fun video games. Bye.
Wait a minute. Don't say.
That's from an old video of mine. That's
Oh,
paying attention.
hey man, I can't listen. I don't get all the references. I hate that.
It was it's Xbox side, Nintendium Xbox side.
Oh, that's
side.
depressing. I should have known that one. I should have known that one.
That was a good one when all Nintendo fans started jumping to Xbox.
Yeah.
That was a weird transition.
Yeah, really butthurt with me on that.
Alex was one of them.
Yeah,
Now
really
he
butthurt when I made that one.
He hates the Xbox. He's a PC guy, and he was one of those guys jumped to the Xbox.
It's called a guy who wants
Just
to
give me a button,
flip
flip-flop. Skip the button, flip flop.
Does Rich still use that like
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does.
photo?
Changed the.
Yeah, he does.
No, he changed the person. It's a drawing now. Like
Yeah,
somebody
but
did
he still does the same
Digital
intro.
Like I can't imagine that.
Give
Was
it up,
ever him.
it.
Anyway, T, you got anything?
You just get a scat.
No, I don't really have anything. I'm just, I'm had my quick little vacation, kind of.
Try to clean up this mohawk, get my shit together.
Well, I could call it a vacation, but I was working. But it was more play than anything. But I shared some stuff on Twitter. You guys probably saw. That was really cool. It doesn't get old to be able to take my home console anywhere I want. So.
The
Very
jank hotel room.
So even to my jank hotel room. Yes.
I think the term you're looking for is ghetto, sir.
I don't know. It didn't look as bad as some of the last few I was in. So
No, it wasn't bad looking. It was. What's the
view
service?
was
Like
bad.
the view was terrible. They didn't have a bar. I can go.
It's all
on.
mediocre.
It was pretty mediocre as far as services wise.
Yeah.
That's what I should say.
I was gonna say because like hotel room can look nice, but when I was in America and entered my hotel room
Trying to hit on
and
your
I looked
girlfriend.
under the sink, like there was like this trash bag can, and it was filled with like old fucking pizzas and shit. It's like, come on, bitch, empty my trash.
I don't think you used to
Yeah.
America at all, yo.
I like not to like go like a whole.
Come on,
weird way,
bitches,
but,
empty
like,
my trash.
Retro's
like-
the type of dude who walks into a fucking pizza and is like, "Hey man, why does it smell like pizza in here, y'all?"
Yeah, but it's also like I work in like a hotel and shit, and like you'd be surprised at how many people do not flush their toilets and shit. So like I feel bad.
We live in America. You kidding me?
You looking at this some doo doo?
Cause hey man, I went to go pee. Oh, look, there's some shit in the toilet.
I can't believe this shit, and I mean shit literally.
I'm too old for this shit.
My bad.
All right.
Improv now.
Who's next? Retro.
Yeah, I'll go next. Like, I just wanted to say one thing about Smash. Still, like, my favorite thing that they changed, and I've been crying about this shit for like the last 500 games, is like my main DK finally has a decent final Smash, and I just it's so good. It's so satisfying.
They took away his little bit of a hair texture.
That fucking bongo shit drove me insane. Every time I wanted to use it, I like stopped.
Sounds like he's not good at his own final Smash.
Typing a little fucking buttons to push the enemies away for like 2 pixels. It's like, fuck off with that bullshit. Now he's like finally badass and shit.
It's not really
man.
bad.
I love that they changed that.
He just punches you a bunch of times.
Yeah, but it's like from like I don't know. It kills
you watch anime. You watch anime Retro. A lot of dudes punch people all the time, right? It's not anything.
But yeah, so I like man. I miss doing this shit. It's so much fun. I like being back finally, being able to do this shit every week again. Like talk games and that kind of shit. So the last thing I'll just say is just like, you know, like don't listen to reviews and don't rent your games.
That's trash. That's trash.
All right, clocked it.
Yeah, my name's Clocked It. I have a YouTube channel. Please watch.
Click the notification bell.
What was your last video?
Wow, you should know.
I don't even remember.
Well, damn. Well, that's not a good endorsement at all.
I think you showed Outrun 2 in it.
No, wait. What was my last video? No,
You know what'd be great? You know.
No,
wait.
Go on.
Put our channels in the description box.
Yeah.
Go ahead, put that in the comments.
My last video was titled "Has Achieving Things in Gaming Become a Chore Now?"
More complaints about Smash
We
Bros.
didn't even talk about that. We'll have to talk about that next week. The unlocking characters thing. So,
This is
But,
so big deal.
Yeah, I've had a trash year in games. I think I've like completed 2 games this year. Actually, I think I completed Hollow Knight and God of War, and I just haven't had the time to complete anything else. So everything's just taking me forever. So
At least one of those games was good.
yeah, I just
Yeah, I fucking love God of War.
I just I'm looking forward to the Christmas break, which is next week for me. And I'm just gonna sit down. I'm gonna murder Octopath. I'm gonna murder Rayman and Mario Kingdom Battle finally, and I'm gonna get some games out of the way.
Wait, you say Rayman Mario?
Yes.
I was like, wait a minute, what?
My brain
is that what it's called over there?
No.
no, it's Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, isn't there like a place where it's called like the rabbits are called something way different?
Yeah, they're called something different in
They're
France.
called aliens because that's what they are.
I think
They
you
call
just
in
referring
French,
to
Richard,
the French version where they call them just like the stupid rabbits or something, like lapin crétin. That's what they call them here.
Oh, okay. That's what it was.
Yeah, I understood that completely.
stupid rabbits for sure. But anyway,
Not
Clocked It.
raving rabbits, are just stupid rabbits. Stupid.
What's all this rabbit abuse? Just move the fuck on. Come on.
Go watch
Go to
Clocked
Rabbit
It. Go to his channel, watch the videos.
It would be Juice is gonna link it in the description. No, he's not.
He's got a fantastic catalog. You should go watch them all.
He made a video about his weird OCD shit he does while playing games. And
That one was so good. That video.
I couldn't even think of one. The closest thing I could think of was in Tecmo Bowl, the original game. When you kick an extra point, if you kick it anywhere over like a third power, the ball just goes off the screen. Every time I kick an extra point, I wanted to kick it so it'd land in the stands, but as low down, like the lowest row in the stands as possible. And I got it to I think the 3rd or 4th row. I could get it. It was my own little mini game I did every time I kick an extra point.
Well, you'll appreciate this, Juice. You know, first level Contra. I pretty much do it in every level, but the first level Contra, you know, after you beat the fortress or whatever, I always, every time, I try to jump to the top before I freeze. You know, and it pulls you into the thing. Just so I can have that sound pop, pop, pop as he jumps down the the little hills or whatever. I do it every time. That's pretty OCD.
Yeah, I couldn't really think of any main ones because I never felt that urge to catch like on Hollow Knight. I'll grab the ones I have right here. Yeah, that Geo's down at the bottom. It's lost. I'm never.
Oh, dude, I'd go all the way down the bottom. I fucking hated it.
I can't believe you would go for a heart when you have full health.
In Hollow Knight, you have a specific vessel actually that you can equip that gathers everything for you. That even if you instantly scream, it automatically counts all the Geos.
I never equipped that because
I did.
So
OCD.
I quit everything.
Anyway, I did want to say I have not unlocked all the characters in Smash, so I needed to confess that. I have like 6 more.
You bastard.
So, and I absolutely loved how the unlocking works in this game. I kind of was annoyed by Melee and Brawl. There was characters I never unlocked in those games. I didn't play Brawl very long. Brawl. I keep saying Brawl. Brawl.
But, Brawl, you could have also unlocked with all the Brawl, like the amount.
I never unlocked.
You go with all the Brawl.
So I like how it works. I like going through classic mode. Gives me a reason to try different characters. And the best.
He's not good at them.
The best Smash is at its best, in my opinion. It's when you're playing with friends, obviously, but when you're just like, it's not all serious. It's like, all right, let's just all pick random and fuck it. Let's just see what happens. Like I have the most fun doing that.
Pick your main.
And then at the end of the night, we're like, all right, pick your best for.
Juice, this is the reason why people don't watch Juice Opinions. We ain't got time for this shit. All right.
Wow.
So like it's just I see all kinds of people like I love playing with items. I love doing this. I love doing that. For me, Smash is at its best when you're playing with friends, and it's you still care if you win or lose, but it's more casual. You're not you're not playing one character the whole time. Like on Terrell's stream, that Mel person was like,
wow,
every time.
Why are you dogging out?
And I'm just like,
He's the most disrespectful dude.
I don't see the appeal to just playing the same character every time and trying to win every single time.
Yo.
I don't know.
I don't understand.
I just
Robert,
Robert, shut the hell up.
I don't even have anything.
I fucking hate Rob. And PK Rule Ninja.
Rob got nerfed though. His up B or for whatever his spin attack is, that got cut in half.
Yeah, I think
because
so.
Because he spawned too much.
But anyway, I just have a blast playing like that, and I can't take it too serious. But I'm enjoying it. And I don't know if I said earlier, but it's definitely the best Smash that I've played. So I'm gonna keep grinding, and we'll keep playing online. And if my arena shows up,
come over here.
If my arena shows up on like Terrell's arena didn't show up, it didn't show any friends had any arenas. Man. I don't know why. So there's a little glitch, but feel free to join unless I'll put a password on if we're just messing around and we're not trying to be serious, because without the password you get a few people jump in and they're all tryhards and just kind of ruins the flow. So anyway, that's it for this week. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll be back next week.